Hello everyone, and welcome back. We're finally to the game. Joining me, my name is Sushi. Joining me today is Lord Whiskey.
Hello.
And we'll start out by introducing our teams. Playing from the order side, we have Torpedo with Game Hunter in the solo lane as Ymir, Ninja Bova playing that Red Pot Thor in the jungle, Carino playing that Neath in the middle lane, Wolf Beetle Street and Moax sharing that dual lane as Sylvanas and Sol.
Yep, and then over on the Chaos side, we have over in the solo lane is Axios playing Jing Chan. In the jungle is going to be Dark Yodi K playing Bologna with that red pot as well. Ez is going to be playing that Swagni in the mid lane with Purple Pot and Red Pot as the Athena and Huyi in the ADC and the support. There we go.
So, interesting start from both teams. It seems like both teams are going for the regular start with like the buffs into like the mid buffs as in red and speed into blue and purple, which like we're not seeing any paradigm starts and stuff.
Yeah, it's a very standard start, and we're actually going to see Carino taking a little bit of damage from Ez, getting as he used the Path of Flames but Carino does do a little bit of damage back with the Unravel. Looks like Torpedo is going to take the right side mid camp, but Epiphany Bolt is just going to accept that and go for the left hand side. Just don't really want to fight them, which makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Thor has Red Pod, and with his passive, which is Warrior as well, he's gonna do a lot of damage early on. One interesting thing I would like to note though, Epiphany Bolt skipped their purple buff first and went to wave to try to push it, and then went back to it after they cleared it, which is really an interesting call if you ask me.
Yeah, they have lost quite a bit of bit of clear, but I think it's because they knew that they wanted to hit level 2 before they got into the wave, or got into the lane to fight against the Sol, as Sol is such a strong early game god with the slow from her too. Red Pot didn't really want to fight it early on without his dive bomb, so he wanted to hit level 2 and then so got stuff in the minion wave, then went to the attack speed and came back to make sure that he was going to be fine and wasn't going to take too much damage from that.
I mean, look at the amount of poke he's taking right now. Thor seems to be looking over the solo lane, trying to see if Jing Tan is going to step out of position. No, he's not.
Yeah, Jing Chan's one of those very difficult gods to actually try and fight against, especially in the solo lane. We do see Game Hunter doing an alright job of sort of trying to keep him away. You do have to be very careful about taking too much damage, because he does get a lot of HP 5 regen with his passive. So you've got to be quite careful, but you can fight. We do see them hitting level 5 as well. Neath also actually hitting level 5, the first in the middle to hit it. So we're going to start seeing some big fights coming out very soon.
Which is interesting. Carino took a lot of poke from the Bologna there, but it seems like, I mean, I don't see any kill potential here, even though they're...
Actually, over on the solo lane, we actually see Axios using its ultimate. Game Hunter didn't really take too much from it, though. I believe he used his own ultimate himself, or he doesn't have it leveled up yet.
Yeah,
so,
he used it himself.
He used it. Okay, so, yeah, that'll be quite an interesting thing to see. These two just sort of trying to poke it off, see who can get each other back first. As they're not really, again, like you said, there's no real kill potential over there. But there is a lot of boxing between those two.
Yeah, but you know where there's kill potential? In the dual lane, with Moax on that Sol. That's haunted. Ultimate by Bologna, but Wolf Beetle Street is there with the return ultimate. Moax is in a really bad spot here.
Yep, this is a very bad fight. Moax is going to be the first to fall. That's going to be first blood. And it looks like there could be another going down. Wolf Beetle Street finally finding Dark YD okay. But he pays for it as rotates over. Very nice spirit arrow from Carino, though. Very nearly killing Ez. He's still alive, however. Is going to be forced to use his beads along with red pots, I believe, as well. So, both bead popped on the side of Epiphany Bolt.
Yeah, Solo, that was a 2-kill favorite, and like, in favor, 2 for 1 in favor of Epiphany Bolt, and they did end up getting first blood as well. But if you take a look at the graphs, the difference in golden XP isn't too much, since it seems like Torpedo was farming better compared to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually what happens, is sort of one team may get the first blood, but that does force them to actually it does force them to not get as much farm as the other one. We do see Carino may actually be in a bit of trouble here. Dark YOD is going to be able to finish him off, and now Ninja Bobat and Wolf of Elo Street have to be a little bit careful. Dark Y is fairly low, but maybe not enough to sort of make Torpedo want to go in. Wolf of Elo Street has to be a little bit careful because Ez is starting to do a lot more damage with that Flame Wave.
Yeah, he is. Like, he uses Flame Wave on Carino and did like 40% of his HP, and the reason why he died there is because he took the dangerous route to the mid camps. I mean, that's a slight misplay in my opinion. He should have been a bit more careful, but I guess those things happen when you're playing in a show match and you want to show off and be good, but the nerves can get to you, you know.
Yeah, you do have to be careful about that sort of stuff. I mean, show matches are great things. You get to sort of... First of all, I believe these teams get prizes. I'm not so sure. If not, there's certainly a couple of other organizations which do prize pool show matches. But in general, they're very interesting to do. You get to see how these teams work together a lot more than you do in sort of the Challengers Cup too much. You get to see how they sort of interact with, outside of that sort of very competitive environment, but it is still competitive enough to make it quite interesting to watch.
It is bragging rights too, in a way, because both these teams are in Challenger Cup, and if one team like ends up stomping the other one, they're gonna be like, hey, we're a better Challenger Cup team than you. So yeah. It really is bragging rights, and both teams do not want to lose here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, luckily, with what's happening in Challengers Cup at the moment, they're currently in this round-robin stage, of which there are two groups to this stage, and both of these two teams are on opposite sides of the group. Epiphany Bolt is currently, unfortunately, at 0-3 in their group. They need to have 3 wins, or they may not be able to get into the top 2 to be able to get through. Meanwhile, Torpedo is sitting at 3-0 in their group. So, very good there. Wow! That damage!
Did you see that spirit bolt?
Yes.
Oh my god.
That was 2/3. 2/3 of Dark's health.
It seems like Epiphany Bolt wanted to engage on there, like Athena also was forced, but they didn't get much out of it. Torpedo was able to disengage without anything happening, really.
Yeah, very nicely able to disengage here. So, looking over at the duo lane, we're talking about how Hui is a very strong ADC, yeah. We see Sol as a very strong god currently, actually forced to use, I believe that was it Separate there, to just try and get some stuff, but luckily she's not doing too badly, but she is still struggling to fight this Hui, who is very strong at getting this huge amount of poke, which Sol also kind of does as well. I haven't seen her too much in the duo lane as of recently, so this is kind of a new area for me as well, to try and see exactly how Moix plays around.
I mean, the thing is, like, Moix gets a lot of respect for being a really great AD carry in like the industry. And the thing about Sol, like, I have to agree with you, we haven't seen much of her yet, although it seems like an engagement going on middle lane.
Yeah, there was a bit of engagement, but it wasn't really going to amount to anything, so keep on talking.
Yeah, it's all good. So yeah, what was I saying? Like, we haven't seen much of Sol in the duo lane, like, we don't know what she is capable of. I mean, playing it in casuals is different than a competitive match like this.
Yeah, I mean, it is very true that competitive and casuals have this very stark difference between them, which you may not be able to describe it, but you can very much see it. Like, this is semi-competitive. You can see that everyone is playing for the sort of, they want the bragging rights. It's not really they're playing for fun. But actually see over in the solo lane, Dark's got to be quite careful. He's taking a lot of damage. He may actually get down. Very nice ultimate. Actually going to save him a little bit longer. Xingqian ultimate used on Thor as well. Carino is going to be able to find it. Thor actually going up into the air as well. Is he going to try and land on Ez, who's just in the tower? He is actually going to go on and not going to be able to hit it though, so he's just going to have to disengage.
He missed it. That's really unfortunate. But what Torpedo is looking to contest this move off, but I mean, Epiphany Bolt, they're not ready to let go of it yet.
Yeah, not quite yet, but they weren't able to secure it anyway. Torpedo coming out with a kill there quite nicely, but it's like not too big of a deal. Moix and Redpot actually rotated over here now. But Moix using his ultimate, trying to disengage himself from that. He does have enough to be able to use a couple of moves in terms of his mana, but now the rest of Torpedo's come over, so Epiphany Bolt's got to back off.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, 2v1 against a soul, yes, you could do that, but 4v2, that's not something I would advise you to do. It seems like a Torpedo is setting up for an ambush here. And
Yeah.
I think Epiphany Bolt noticed Cole does not connect by Wolf Street.
Yeah, we actually see Game Hunter on his own against 3 of them, but the rest of Torpedoes now finally come over. Dark is very low on health, but a very nice Sunbreak is actually going to take out a lot of damage. 2 of them falling down inside the Torpedo, but Ninja Bobat does finally find Dark. Now Moex and Game Hunter are running away, trying to make sure that they aren't going to get caught out along with the rest of their team, and it looks like they're going to get out safely.
That was a really interesting fight. It seems like it was in favor of Torpedo, like the way it started.
Oh, actually, Jin-Chan ultimate used Moex forced to use his beads. Game Hunter got picked up by it, but it wasn't really going to do too much. Athena also ulting in here, just making sure that they weren't going to try and get that Thor ultimate onto Red Pot as well, but he's not going to be able to find too much. The dive bomb it back into mid lane. And are you done, guys? I think they're done.
Yeah, I think they're done fighting too. Ninja Bobat hasn't been on point with those Until Dawns, like the ultimate. I have to say, yeah.
Yeah, Anvil of Dawn, yeah.
Anvil of Dawn, yes. He hasn't really been on point with those. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think the nerves are getting to him a bit.
I think it's more actually he's trying to predict where they're going, but slightly over-predicting it in most of the cases. You could see it in the previous fight where he missed it over at the Solo Tier 2 tower onto Airs. It was just a couple of centimeters away. If he had, it felt like he was predicting that Agni was moving a little bit faster, or he was going to use his dash earlier, so it was going to be a perfect hit, but unfortunately, just over-predicting it a little too much, making sure that he's not quite getting those perfect Thor ultimates, which you kind of need later on, but alright, it's not too bad now to miss a couple of them.
Yeah, it is. And like, you were right when you said like it probably is over-predicting, because it happens so much when you think that a person is going to go the way, like that way, but they go the other way. Marx gets picked up though in the dual lane.
Yeah, I did not see that one coming. You have to be very careful playing Soul. You are quite a weak character. You do take a lot of damage very quickly. Ninja Bobat may actually get caught out here. He doesn't have his ultimate up. He's just trying to keep himself busy. Dark's going to jump over the wall, and now Ashios is going to follow him up. He is dead to rights. Epiphany Bolt are starting to do a lot of work together.
They are. It seems like Axios on the Shinkan has rotated over from the solo lane. He was going to give up his tower for this kill, but they might be getting his ulti out of this. I don't think Torpedo is contesting this. Oh, they're not.
No, they decided not to contest it at all. They are going to get the tier 1 tower for it at least. Very nice beads from Carino actually going to keep him alive as the Whirlwind and Raging Steel is beads away. And Wolf of the Evil Street's just going to be here trying to heal up Carino, making sure he can stay in lane a little bit more and get this as much gold as possible. So he's already finished stacking his Transcendence.
It is, but the thing is, like, I love Smite because of all the small plays like this. Like, Wolf of Beale Street stood before the tower line to make sure, like, they didn't lose any gold. Like, those are the small things in Smite you have to appreciate.
Yeah, just tiny things like that are very, very good, and it does differentiate the good players and the great players, as that means that he doesn't lose any gold. But over on the right-hand side, we're going to see Axios having the Athena ultimate channeled in onto him. Very nice wall from Game Hunter, though. Actually going to keep him alive a little bit longer. Three's going to come out onto Purple Part. Going to get stunned out, though, by the Eagles rally from Dark, and now I think, yeah, Torpedo just starting to try and engage. Very nice beads from Dark, actually going to keep him alive from the stun. He's taking a lot more damage, though. Ares is now over here as well. Carino taking quite a bit of damage in the backline. Axios got rooted out, however. Carino channeling his ultimate, looking for someone. Is going to be able to find Ninja Bobat. Actually, no, Ninja Bobat finding Dark after a very nice stun from the knee. Finally got that out.
This has been a really interesting fight. Ninja Bobat's still in a bad spot. He's waiting till Million is back up, but no, Alurus is able to pick him up with the Flame Wave. Here, ultimate does not pick up anyone, sadly. Agni. That was a really interesting fight because, like, for the longest time, it seems like it was a 1v3 on both sides. Like,
yeah. It split up.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird. Moix did actually rotate over just behind Red Pot to try and take out that middle tier 1 tower. Unfortunately, Red Pot followed up and stopped the tower from dying, but it is very low on health, sitting at about 100 or so HP. Just a couple of basics will be able to take it out fairly easily.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, Heath though is... No, I thought Athena wanted to go in and do some stuff, but Neith is pretty safe, like, about under his tower.
Yeah, she's trying to play it as safe as possible, and actually just making sure that she can get as much sort of XP and gold as she can while playing it as safely as possible. Neith is a very safe character in general. It is one of the things that is said about her time and time again. She is probably the safest ADC in the game with that very big backflip, which although it's very obvious to a sort of early game player, it's quite strong because it allows you to sort of get a very nice amount of distance, and more importantly, you can follow it up with the Spirit Arrow afterwards to get a lot of people rooted. So if you get into a dangerous spot, you can then just back out quite easily. It's very good early game, against early sort of accounts. We do actually see Ninja Boba actually got picked up by that Warrior in the Raging Seal in the middle of the interruptive challenge onto Jing Chen as well. Boba forced to go up into his own ultimate. Is he going to want to go back in on this? He's about half health. He should probably back off. Yeah, he's going to do that over there.
Yeah, I think he's going to back off too. There was no way his team was ready to follow up. Assault rotated over just now, but it was a bit too late. I don't think he wanted to go in there.
Yeah, it is quite a good idea not to go in. However, if we have a quick look at the grass while we have some time, you can see this is still very even in terms of gameplay. 369 gold in the lead and 800 for Torpedo in terms of XP. It's very minimal, these leads. Very, very minimal. You don't usually see anything until about sort of 2,000 solid gold in the lead and a good 5k or so XP in the lead.
Yeah, so far the game is pretty much even though Epiphany Ball have 4 or 5 more kills in favor, but like Torpedo has the gold and XP advantage. Seems like they're a bit better at farming than Epiphany Ball is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like you said before, the game is pretty much even. Like
Yeah. Actually, over in the duo lane, Moix has got to be a little bit careful. Already used his Disapparate to get away from this. He does have the Mark of the Crow on him, so he could be ricocheted another time and stunned. Gotta be careful about it. Luckily, the ricochet isn't going to hit anyone. But the one thing I was going to point out just before that happened, Epiphany Bolt got the gold jury. It's about to respawn, but they got the gold jury. However, Torpedo has done a very good job at farming, and more importantly, they've also taken down that middle and solo lane tier 1 tower. So they've got a lot of XP and gold in that as well.
Yeah, they did. That was a really good call. I mean, Marx has been pushing mid lane every time he rotates over, which has been a really good play by him because it's something his team needed. If you can't get the map objectives, aka Gold Fear or Fire Giant, just go for the tower objectives, which is mainly like the main part of the game. You have to kill the enemy Titan, so...
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things which a lot of people do forget about and usually go for the kills, as we see Game Hunter steal away the speed buff. Actually, Blink over the wall from Axios looking for Ninja Bobat. They're focusing him quite hard. Couldn't quite find the Arcane Stun, however. Whirlwind and Rage Seal going to go through. Aegis, though, from Ninja Bobat, and Beads from Carino as well. Quite a nice job. Game Hunter got taunted on the right-hand side, though. He needs to be a little bit careful. I think Thor Ultimate... Actually, no. Thor's just going to recall away. Moix has rotated over, but there's a red pop very close behind him.
Yes, Carino in a bad spot. He does get stunned by Red Pod, and the ultimate from Hui is able to pick him up.
Yep, and now Moix is also forced to run away as well, using the Separate, so he doesn't have that up anymore. Thor is ready, going to go into his ultimate, looking for someone in the backline. Going to find Airs, but he's on very low health. Wolf Illustrate also picked off by Purple Pot in the front line as well as Ninja Bobat goes around the backside.
Sol is going on the Shinkan at the moment, trying to see if he can pick him up. Game Hunter picks up Athena, and Hui is, I don't know, it seems like the members from Team Torpedo are disengaging. Ninja Bobat is really low, and Hui, Red Pot on the Hui is not ready to let him go yet.
That looked pretty nice. Also, you seem to be lagging out a little bit, so if you want to have a look and see what's going on there. I don't know whether it's my side or not. We do see Game Hunter finally finishing the chase on Dark, Meanwhile, Red Pot also finishes the chase on Ninja Bobat. So that's going to be another 2 kills going off. I'm not quite sure exactly what that was. Let's just check. It was a 4 for 3 in favor of Epiphany Bolt. There we go. If you don't know, that's a really clever thing which I love using. I just can't use it that much because not many people know about it. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to see Axios actually running away from Game Hunter and Carinia, making sure. Red Pot did a very nice mark of the crow as well to make sure that they knew that he was there, so they couldn't really go on it. Are you feeling a little bit better, Sushi? I believe that is not the case, so I'll probably just go into a solo cast a little bit and talk about some stuff. We actually see Purple Pot blinking over the wall, looking for Game Hunter. Meanwhile, Axios is looking for Carinia in the backside. Game Hunter going to get stunned out by the Huyi. He's taking quite a bit of damage, actually, already on half health. Axios going to go into his ultimate. Game Hunter following up with his own to get the CT immunity, and Moix using his own as well. He goes right over the wall. Game Hunter very low, but he is still alive. Very nice taunt. Axios going to finally finish him over. And now Moix is also on the back line, just wanting to try and do a couple of things. Going to see Axios in the middle of everything as well, getting the Athena ultimate challenge on top of him. Ninja Bobat was in the backside of Epiphany Bolt. He is on about a third of his health, probably also getting stunned out by Red Pot.
I don't know if I sound better right now.
Yeah, that's much better.
Alright, okay, I don't know what was going on. Seems like... I don't know what has been. Xayas is really low on that Xingtian with like he is still. He's fine. It seems like Epiphany Bolt is disengaging from this fight. Yeah. They are quite low. I'm not gonna say like low where they might die, but I don't think it's smart for them to think.
Yeah, they definitely can't engage, but they can sort of stick around a little bit. However, they did just show that most of them have backed off and they're sort of going into the buffs. If Torpedo wanted to, they could have actually tried to go for the gold tree there, but I think the fact that they had the lack of the sentry ward on that, they kind of felt like it probably wasn't the best idea to go on it. And now you can see the Epiphany Bolt have put a sentry there themselves, and Torpedo know that there's a sentry ward there, so they've got to be a lot more careful about it.
Yeah, they do. I mean, the thing is, we're also we're looking at this from the overhead and we see everything that is going on. At that moment, Torpedo probably didn't think about going for the Gold Fury. They didn't think it was safe enough. And it's a good thing they actually didn't go for it though, because like Epiphany Bolt could have been just rotated in and gotten a couple kills and probably the objective.
Yeah. So, I mean, we were talking about this sort of soul beforehand quite a bit, and unfortunately for Torpedo, it hasn't actually worked out that well for them in the ADC. And I think this is actually why we haven't been seeing her played so much in that role, is purely because she can get focused quite heavily, and she does suffer a lot when you focus her, as she needs to be ahead to be able to do a lot of the work that she is usually able to do.
Yeah, she is. I feel like the early game, it was really going well for her, considering Paul was laning with Sylvanas, and Sylvanas is known to have like a great push in lane. But it seems like the further the game goes, the like, she is not that, like, I'm not saying she's not working out, she is still doing good, because if we take a look at the damage charts, I feel like
it's not bad, but it's not the best.
It's not bad. Yeah, it could have been better. Carinia doing more damage, and Huyi, like Red Pot on the Huyi is second, which is not surprising, actually, considering he is AD carry.
Oh, Huyi does so much damage. I keep on forgetting about it every single time I fight him. And then every single time I do fight him, I think, I need to practice this god a lot more, because he is just way too good right now. Although Epiphany Bolt look like they're grouping up, they maybe want to start the Gold Fury. However, everyone on the side of Torpedo is alive, and more importantly, they know Ninja Bobat's around, and he has his ultimate. He's ready to go in on this if he wants to. Very nice pull over the wall onto Dark, though, along with the root as well. Looks like Ninja Bobat wants to get ready to go into this, though.
Ultimate by Ninja Bobat, he's still in the air. Gold Fury got leashed. Roman picked up by Bellona, picks up 3. Ninja Bobat in a really bad spot, is able to get out for now, but I think, yeah, Athena ulted Xingtian, and that was the end of Ninja Bobat. Now Team Torpedo, they're just trying to disengage as fast as they can.
Yeah, unfortunately, Game Hunter does have his ultimate. He's going to try and get the kill onto Red Pot. However, the dive bomb away is going to keep him alive. Carino is still here, along with Moix and the Wolf of Elo Street. But they can't really go into this 5-man strong Epiphany Bolt, who, although they don't have any healing, very nice pull actually after the blink. Ez is on no health at all, but he is still alive. Carino going to be falling down. Moix very low as well. Wolf of Elo Street is going to be the next one to fall though, and I think this is now the gold jury secured. Going to Epiphany Bolt.
Secured. Maybe Mark. I mean, I think he's just trying to see if he can do something. I mean, they got them so low, but they weren't able to get the kills, and that was just so demoralizing. I mean, I'm hoping for Torpedo that they're able to pick it back up. Oh no, I think that was a misclick on the Aegis.
Yeah, I just saw it as I clicked away. That's probably not gonna go too well.
Oh, feels bad, man. Feels bad.
Yeah.
Because, like,
well, hey.
right now, the frustrations are really building up because all of them, like, 4 members of the enemy team, they were so low, but they just couldn't get the kill on them, and that's just... It hurts my soul, you know?
I mean, you could actually see on the right-hand side, I think there were 4 characters in either red or orange health, which is sort of... I think that's about 25% health for orange and 10% for red. You can even see the purple bot still hasn't backed off yet, so about 10, just under this sort of 10% health mark. You know, as soon as you sort of see that sort of health, and the fact that they got away, and more importantly, you all died as they did that, that is always a very annoying factor to you.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I mean, Team Torpedo has to shake this off from them and just continue and keep going, because I mean, if we take a look at the graphs, the XP difference is 6k, which is, I mean, I'm not saying it's nothing, which it is significant, the gold difference being about 3k, but it's still, like, I don't think the game is over yet. Everything can happen.
I mean, if you actually have a look at the levels themselves, so everyone's actually on about the same area. It's 20-20, 16-16, 17-17. The biggest difference, though, is in the dual lane, and I mean, we were talking about this, but it is very, very heavily affected. It's 14-17 in the support roles, and 18-20 in the ADC role. So this has definitely been a big problem. However, the ADC role doesn't really matter that much until later on, especially as they've actually saved their towers. It really only starts mattering when they get into the team fights, of which hopefully Sol should be a little bit better in these sort of later on team fights. She just needs to get a bit of her sort of damage up. She's actually going quite a low damage build and a lot more sort of supportiness almost with this currently. I believe that's either going to be a Gem of Isolation or Ethereal Staff being built.
Yeah, it's, I mean, most likely going to be survivability since she has been getting blown up in these fights. Xingtang in tier 2, on the tier 2 of Team Torpedo, but they are able to get out fine. But in the meanwhile, Epiphany Bolt was able to pick up a tier 1 tower from Torpedo. That's been a good call, basically. Try to zone them all so you can get a tier 1 for free.
Can I just say that Game Hunter's walls have been incredibly good. He actually was able to block off Jing Chen's ultimate there, although Jing Chen did just blink him going on to Corinne. He was luckily able to use his backflip away. Wolf of Elo Street getting focused here though. A lot of ultimates used. Forcer actually used Wrath of Terror there, but he does actually get quite a bit of damage off. You can see Ez in the background, quite low. And now the fact that Game Hunter showed his face, Ez got to be quite careful. You're going to see Ninja Bobat ulting it in as well. Very nice spawn though, going to keep him in the path of flames, and that's going to be him going down. Purple Pot is finally found though. Corinne falling off in the background. Moix is still here along with Game Hunter. Game Hunter taking quite a bit of damage though. Ez is finally going to go down, but he's in the middle of all the Sunbreakers. He doesn't have a way of getting out. He's going to go and freeze Red Pot, but Dark Yodike is still chasing up on him. Axios is here as well. Moix does not have enough damage to be able to save him. Luckily, the Disapparate comes out at the perfect time to get rid of the Whirlwind of Rage and Steel, and Moix should get out safely here.
Yes, but it still doesn't stop Epiphany Bolt from taking the back Harpies and possibly going for the tier 1 tower in solo lane.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. I think the minions are a little bit too far pushed up on the right hand side for Torpedo's favour, so it should be alright. I don't think they can quite take it, but if someone doesn't come over soon, there could very much be a tier 1 tower taken.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you take a look at the duo lane, there we go. There we see Moex, the young, playing that young soul, taking tier 1, which is a good thing. I mean, they pretty much lost that team fight. It was a 4 for 3, I think, no, 4 for 2 in favor of Epiphany Bolt, and well, it's I guess it's a consolation prize to get the tier 1 tower from them.
Yeah, it was the 4 for 2, and that does mean that Epiphany Bolt has to be a little bit. Well, like, Torpedo still has to be a little bit careful. They are starting to get a couple of kills, but they don't really have that sort of go ahead, engage kind of god yet, because Wolf of Vila Street has been having a lot of what has been dived on a hell of a lot. I mean, that last fight, it was sort of. It was Bologna ultimate, Xingqiang ultimate in the backline as well, with Hui Sunbreakers, Athena taunting as well. They all just went straight for him. And the problem with that, for Torpedo, is the fact that Game Hunter's gone for a beads and teleport build. So he doesn't have room for that blink, he doesn't have room for that big initiation. He's got to follow up on someone. He's got to follow up on either Ninja Bobat's ultimate coming out, or even Carino's, or Wolf of Elo Streets. But he doesn't have that hard engage that Imiz usually have with this blink. So we've got to kind of see how Torpedo reacts around this, whether they want to try and get Thor to actually start initiating more fights, because right now, Epiphany Bolt are just working together very well as a team in these team fights, and they were able to take their 3rd gold Shuri of the game just then.
The main issue about letting Thor engage is he hasn't exactly been on point with those Anvil of the Dawns, like the ultimates don't always connect when they should, which has been, I feel like, a main issue we're having at the moment.
Watch out!
Yeah.
You know.
Also, as chat was saying, Hu Yi has been playing completely out, incredibly well. And this is how Hu Yi has been played a lot recently. He's currently sitting at 7-0-9. Shout out to Red Pop being an awesome person on this Hu Yi. He has just been performing so well. He's been getting out very safely, but more importantly, he's been hitting sort of a lot of his damage. As you can see, he's sitting at about 17,000, 18,000 player damage. He's been doing so much work for his team, and has been able to get a lot of these very good zoning ultimates, or just damage from that as well. It's very good.
He has been. We do have to give him credits. If we were to vote on MVP, I mean, I'd say it would be him, because he's done a lot for his team. Yeah. Wolf of Vila Street linked in to try to do something there, but well, Epiphany Bolt disengaged. Beast coming out from Hu Yi to stop the stun from Thor ult. I got Ninja Bobat gets out safely. Blink. Ymir freeze. I mean, no. Wolf of Vila Street used his ultimate just now. Double taunt by the Athena. Make sure Bobat get picked up. Torpedo in a really bad spot right now.
Yeah, they tried going in too early, and it's cost them a lot of problems. Wolf of Vila Street probably going to go down here as well. Only the 2 ADCs left, Moex and Carino. Question is, are they going to be able to do too much, however, in this? Because this is a pretty much free tier 2 tower. There's too many tankies, people on the side of Epiphany Bolt, and more importantly, they're going to be able to get the Fire Giant after this, and only Carino has his ultimate, which Neath stun isn't that bad, but it's not really going to do too much against a full 5-man Epiphany Bolt. And more importantly, Moex doesn't have his ultimate up for quite some time, so I don't really think they're going to be able to go in this. As Epiphany Bolt, take the Fire Giant for the first one in the game.
Yeah, I feel like they said, let's just give up the Fire Giant and try to defend the Phoenixes, which is something that I feel like they're going for now, because there is no way the 2 ADCs, the very squishy little girls over here, we're going to do something against a very big and scary team that is Epiphany Bolt.
Yeah, I mean, we are starting to see they're now getting this sort of crit online. Well, I mean, actually, Torpedo isn't going crit. Look at what Carino is currently building. He's gone into this balanced blade, but he already has Executioner, which usually you see it being built into. So this is most likely going into a kin size.
It's really smart, if you ask me, because on the opposite team you have Xingqiang with, how much HP does he have currently? 3.45k about. You have Bologna with 3k HP, and you have Athena with 3.5k HP, which, I mean, Chin's is like the only answer to that.
More importantly as well, Hui's passive actually stops him from being hit by crits when he gets hit by one. So if you don't know what it is every 3 seconds... Well, if he gets hit by a crit, he can no longer be crit for another 3 seconds. I think that's like every 5 seconds possible. So effectively, you can't really crit a Hui. He allows some insane boxing. You got to be very careful about it. So the way that Corinia is trying to build, he's purely trying to counteract these very large tanky warriors in the front line, and he's also trying to counteract this very nasty Hui who still has yet to die alongside the Jin Chan.
I mean, yeah, like you said, Hui has been playing amazingly. It seems like Torpedo, I mean, we thought the draft was good, but it seems like they're lacking something that makes it work. I feel like they're lacking the glue that holds the whole team together, you know? As a draft. I don't know.
Well, like, it does seem like it could be a very good draft. However, I believe the Soul pick may have actually been better in the mid lane here, or even in the solo lane, just because she can't really handle too many rotations. But if she's allowed to rotate a lot herself, she can get pretty far ahead and get a lot of her damage off, and more importantly, in the solo lane, she gets a whole lot of farm, whereas in the ADC role, you can very easily focus her out a little bit more, whereas solo, it's a little bit more difficult to do so.
Yes, I mean, solo is called Solo Island for a reason. Nothing much happens there.
Yes, we are going to see a fight start breaking out, though. Thor is up in the air with his ultimate, immediately going to land down. Ez is on very low health already. Ninja Bobat's in the backline with everything. He's going to finally be able to find that that's the first kill they need. However, the Sunbreaker is going to come out, and more importantly, Jin Chen's in the backline trying to take out Carreño, and is doing a very good job of doing so. Axios is going to be rooted out, though, and it looks like Dark Yo DK and the rest of Epiphany Bolt are going to be running away here.
It seems like Torpedo finally found what they have to do. They played this fight amazingly. Ninja Bobat landed a 2-man stun with his ultimate, and then he just killed the damage dealer from the enemy team, which is not, I mean, Red Pot obviously also is a damage dealer, but Agni has been doing so much in these team fights, and once Agni was taken down, it was like a stroll in the park for Torpedo, and now they're just taking the tier 2 tower and possibly the Phoenix of Epiphany Bowl.
Yeah, one thing about Jin Chan is you can get very far away. Red Pot going to go down to a very quick burst coming out from the side of Torpedo. Purple Bot also getting pulled in. He's got to be quite careful. He's going to be able to get the dash away, unfortunately, for the side of Torpedo. But they get their first Phoenix. So that's very good for them.
That was a team fight they needed from the beginning on, which they didn't get. They got it this time. Ninja Bobat did it, and he landed his ult, and then that was pretty much the end of it.
I mean, it was what we were saying at the start. What I was saying about the fact that Wolf of Elo has been focused so much. The way to fix it is make it so that Ninja could actually initiate these fights, because he was able to actually find that kill. And then that meant that Axios got too far away from the rest of his team, of which he was then stuck with a Neath who has kin size. So he was going to start being destroyed effectively, along with Game Hunter, who's built triple penetration items, with a Void Stone, penetration boots, and a Obsidian Shard. So those kind of characters will be able to rip through him. However, 50 Bolt are actually going to start up the 5 round here, and I don't think Torpedo knows about it.
This is a really smart call, because they know that after that fight, they backed off to go back and buy items. Soul is here though, let's see if she's getting zoned by the Xingtan, but that damage that comes out from the Soul too is just so much. Ninja Bobat is able to pick up, and Fire Giant gets leashed here from Epiphany Bowl. They know that they can't, I mean, they can do it, but it's too risky, so they just decide to leash it instead.
Yeah, the question is, does Torpedo want to really go on this? Right now, they have started it up, but Carreño's taking quite a bit of damage here, actually. You've got to be quite careful. He's already on half health. Red Pot is going to be forced to use his dive on away. Ninja's trying to follow him up, but not going to be able to do too much. Game Hunter's here as well. Did get a very nice combo onto Dark, but it wasn't really that much to hurt him too much and force him back. We do see that Red Pot has actually been forced back to base.
Your Titan
He has been. I mean, he died once because, like, they took the mid-Phoenix, and minions are, like, fire minions are gonna keep pouring in. Athena got walled in by the Ymir. Those are two ultimates from Team Torpedo, and Athena just did not get out of there in time as an ultimate.
That was a very nice Eagles rally onto Corinne, which actually stopped him from being able to backflip away from the damage of Fire Giant. Unfortunately, Wolf of Ela Street couldn't find that pull after using his Blinking, and now Doc has used his beads. Game Hunter and Wolf of Ela Street are trying to do some damage to him, but unfortunately he is still very tanky. And now we're going to see Axios getting a very nice ultimate onto Wolf of Ela Street. Ninja Bobat hitting his ultimate in the backside as well, looking for Red Pot, but Red Pot is doing a lot more damage back. And now Axios is in the middle of this fight as well as Ninja Bobat sitting on the backside. Wolf of Ela Street is the one who's lowest though, and most likely the full first.
He is going to fall, but like, he's not. He survived. He better get out of here right now. Oh, please. Alright, Game Hunter does pick up the Agni. Red Pot does pick up one everything. But
Yep.
Wolf of Ela is still alive, which is really amazing. Think 10 is likely to go down here as well. Can Moix land? No. Moix gets picked up. So does Ninja Bobat. Red Pot there. Getting the killing spree. AKA 9-1-13 with that Hui. It just drops.
He's been doing incredibly well.
Meanwhile though, since the mid-Phoenix is dead, lots of fire minions got to the base of Epiphany Bowl. Now their Titan is about 40%.
Yeah, it's quite low. However, luckily they do have a lot more characters they can actually go over and defend it, as the Phoenix is about to respawn. But Carreño is here now at the Fire Giant and is trying to stop them. Actually, Epiphany Bolt going straight for him, trying to make sure they can't do anything. More importantly, they nearly leashed it as well. It's still on about 10% health. It's about to go down. They finally get it. Epiphany Bolt get the second Fire Giant of the game. That's with some very nice but quite close zoning out of Carreño there.
Yeah, it was. Carreño came into 3v1 basically with like the backup of Wolf of Ela Street, but I mean he didn't die, which is a good thing, but he wasn't able to stop the Fire Giant from being picked up, which is like the negative part of what happened there.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see how Epiphany Bolt will play with this Fire Giant. Only 3 Phoenixes remain.
Yeah, the middle Phoenix finally comes up. We do have a pause. I'm just going to check with the admins now to see exactly what is going on with that pause. But I imagine it probably isn't going to be too long. Just finding out right now. But, I mean, in general, this has been quite good for the side of Epiphany. Well, they've been doing pretty well together as a team. Notice that Ez doesn't actually have the Fire Giant. So he's not going to be getting that insane HP 5 and MP5 that the rest of the team is. So he may not be able to siege as well as the rest of the team. However, he does have a lot of lifesteal in terms of that Bancross talent. He has a lot of MP5 with the Book of Thoth and the Rod of Tahuti, and he's even going into a Soul Reaver right now. So he's going to have a lot of mana currently. He doesn't have to worry about it too much. He just has to be a little bit careful, and Epiphany Bolt have to work around it a little bit.
I mean, I don't think it's that big a deal considering it's late game. I mean, we're 40 minutes into the game, and we have an Agni, and he's going to do a lot of damage regardless of Fire Giant or not. It's just maybe it's survivability, but he still has like a team member with a lot, like a team with a lot of peels for him if it's needed.
Yeah, like he's definitely not going to have to worry about it too much, and they should be alright with it. You do just need to be careful about it. I think a lot of people do forget that actually Fire Giant does bring a lot of stuff to the table. It's sort of, I want to say it's 5% health per second and 2% mana per second. It's that sort of ridiculous increase of health and MP5, not to mention if you have a god like Jin Chan, who has an extra, I want to say it's 18 at HP5 or something ridiculous like that. So he's already getting an extra 3 health per second. Plus you have the Stone of Gaia on top. You have the Ethereal Self. You have Hide of the Nemean Lion. He's probably sitting at somewhere about 4,000 health right now. And then he's also got that insane regen from Fire Giant and his passive. He's going to be effectively unkillable unless you can get some very good burst onto him, of which Torpedo doesn't really have that kind of burst.
they don't really. We have a late game Ymir, which is, I mean, he does have like 3 pen items, like you said before, and Soul Reaver, which is going to do a lot. But it's not the mage burst you would want to have.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. Carino does have that chin size, which is going to end up helping out. But we don't know, like the time he's gonna need to kill Xingtian or Athena, for that matter, is going to be a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the way Kinsides works is it deals an extra amount of 4% of the target's maximum HP per basic attack. So if you have about 4,000 health, that's going to be somewhere along the lines of about an extra 120 damage, I want to say. About that much. Along with the fact that he's probably sitting on about 200 in terms of his basic attack damage as well. So he's doing about 300 or so per basic attack and has quite a lot of attack speed. So that's probably about 600 damage per second or so. Now, considering the insane HP 5 that he has, it's probably going to be along the lines of about 8 seconds or so to kill a Xingtian, with this Neath purely just basic attacking him.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's going to be difficult for Team Torpedo to defend, I feel like, because, I mean, Epiphany Ball has been doing so much work in these team fights, and, like, the one time Torpedo won, they got a gold tree off of that, but it wasn't exactly what they needed. So I don't know, like, it's just that's the amazing part about Smite. Even though, like, the odds are against the favor of Team Torpedo, like the Epiphany Bolt with that fire giant and stuff, it's still, like, possible for them to make the defense.
Yeah, I mean, this was something that I think that there was someone who said it on Reddit a couple of days back, and I completely agree with them in that case, of the fact that Season 1 was very snowballing, and Season 2 is very different to that, because effectively with the sort of Heartseeker and Doom Orb that you had in Season 1, it made it so that you could win games about the sort of 20-minute mark very easily. In fact, you could sort of say that games were done about the 5-minute mark. As soon as you got that sort of first blood out of the way and someone started getting their Doom Orb up, you could not stop them, almost. It was very difficult to try and win against that. However, now they've removed that, they changed Heartseeker, they also slowed down getting gold from kills a lot more, so it's a little bit more difficult to sort of do that well by just killing a lot of people. You have a lot more benefits sort of playing as a team, working together, and if you get a lot of kills in a fight, that means you get a lot more objective pressure now. And if you get those objective pressures, you also get a lot more gold XP, you get ahead, well, you get even or ahead, and you then start winning the game back. So it's very possible for any team, no matter what position there is, to potentially get back into one. And with Torpedo, they're 7,000 gold behind and 14k XP. However, the XP doesn't really matter anymore. It's mostly that gold, of which is about an item per god. However, that doesn't matter either, because they're very nearly finished anyway. I think I can only see one item on the side of Torpedo that hasn't been finished yet, and that is the whatever Sylvanas is building into, which is most likely going to either be either the Nemean or a Midgardian male. So that's going to be an interesting one to see what happens, but otherwise everyone's fully built. Gold doesn't matter anymore. It's purely about how the team fights go.
And we're going to see if Team Torpedo can make their last stand at they left Phoenix and come back from this. If they lose this team fight, I'm saying it's pretty much over for Torpedo. But if they can make a stand and be like, no, this is our base, and you GTFO from here, then maybe they can still win.
Yeah, they've got to be quite careful though, because this is where Hui does the best. We actually see him being stunned immediately, but no one actually following up for Torpedo, so that's Karina's ultimate down already. Ninja Bobat's currently in the air as well. The question is, he's not going to go on anyone. They were too far away, and I think they also heard it, so they know the best thing to do is just sit back and let that ultimate be wasted effectively. You can see Athena blinking in as well. Jin-chan looking for stuff very nice for Terra though, going to be able to disengage a little bit.
That was a great ultimate by Wolf of Beale Street and Game Hunter. It's sad that he had to be picked up here. Redpot does pick up Carino, which is again really unfortunate. I thought they did it for a time. I thought like maybe they can make the stand, but no. Apparently they couldn't.
Yeah, and that's going to be that Phoenix down for them, unfortunately. And it looks like Epiphany Bolt still wants to go in. They're probably going to look for the second Phoenix in the middle. Although Torpedo can still contest, they've got to be quite careful. Very nice ball actually going to stun out Puppetbot a little bit. But that's not the target that Thor wants to go on. He wants to go for the squishy tanks, or he wants to go for the squishy people like Ez and Redpot. It says he did hit Puppetbot. That's not going to do too much.
Yeah, sadly it isn't. Link by Shinken, helped by Athena, picks up Ninja Bobat in the backline. Morris is able to get up there by the dissipate, but no, the Phoenix is already picked up. Like it's too late. I feel like Torpedo, Yamon is still trying to defend, but Epiphany Bolt is just running through it at this point. Kelowna picks up Game Hunter. Athena ults back in. I mean, she was just there. She ulted for damage pretty much, and now I don't know. It seems like Epiphany Bolt they're retreating. I think they want to get some. They want to deny Torpedo their own jungle.
Redpot's got to be careful here. He is going to get the dive bomb away, so that's going to be just enough. That was 2 ultimates actually used for him, and they still couldn't find him. So, unfortunate for the side of Torpedo, but you can carry on.
It is. I mean, Moek's in a terrible spot here. It does use its Aegis, but it's not going to stop them from getting up the kill. It was just. It's just really unfortunate to see this, you know, like when you. It's not like I'm favoring a team. It's just you always want like the team that's doing the worst. Like for me, it is like if the team is doing like
you want
not
that
so
comeback.
Great, you want them to win. You want to see the comeback.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just seems very unlikely for us to see a comeback story from Torpedo here.
Yeah.
But
well, Epiphany Bolt actually backed off there because the Fire Giant had just gone off, or the Fire Giant buff had come off, which is why they're currently fighting it right now. They want to make sure they play this as safe as possible, make sure they actually get the Fire Giant before this final fight, make sure they have every single advantage they can get, and make sure that they can clean out this win. Because as long as they can do that, that's going to give them a lot more safety. As we said, this is a best of 3 between these two teams. So they've still got another game after this at least, if not 2. Game Hunter's going to possibly get caught out here.
Is he though? But like he's a really tanky Ymir. Never mind, he got blown up by Redpot.
He has he has very little sort of actual tankiness, and now a lot of damage is going out. Wolf of the Street's got to be quite careful. He doesn't even get his ultimate off, I think. No, he already used it. Don't know where it went, but it just did not seem to have it. And Karina's going to be finished off in the backline, most likely waiting for Dark. No, Dark can't actually find it, but they are going to find Ninja Bobat. Redpot going to take that one, and now seems all Phoenixes are down. This is probably going to be Order Titan going. Yep, there we go. Epiphany Bolt win the first game. Doing a lot of different things very quickly. As you can see, we are now very much ready to go, and we are in the middle of this game. As we said before, Epiphany Bolt are in the Order side this time, and we have Torpedo in the top side. As you can see, Wolf of Street and Purplebot having a nice little ward fight over there on the left-hand side.
Top? Did you seriously say top side?
I keep on saying top side because I mean it makes sense. Torpedo are on the top side.
It has a name. You're being
I
very
know. I know it's called the Chaos side. It's just whenever I see it, it's the top side. Or it's to the right side. Also, I should probably get off of airs because as much as everyone enjoys the raw laugh, it's a little bit annoying after a while. But yeah,
no,
so
speaking about the raw laugh, have you seen that video where someone made like
is it
the commercial? Like
yeah, that one's brilliant. Just like, right, are you done? No!
That was amazing. To whoever made it, shout outs to you. You're really amazing.
Yeah, it was very good. But we're gonna see standard starts again. I don't really see anything that big of a difference coming out. Although, actually, one thing I do know is the difference in ward positions. I don't know if you saw this last time, but Torpedo, when they were on the order side, they had some very sort of passive wards. This time, they're not too aggressive. They're trying to keep it safe, certainly, with this one on the dual lane in the middle, and the other one at the bottom side of the left mid-camp. But they're still playing it sort of relatively aggressive. Like, they aren't just, like, pure defensive wards.
Yeah, they are. It seems like both junglers have rotated over, and Epiphany Bolt is not ready to give up the right mid camps without any problems. Ninja taking a lot of damage, and, well, Iris is just able to pick up the right mid camps.
Yeah, just sort of... Torpedo got zoned out very nicely by Dark there, so they decided that the best thing to do, just take out the mid-camp and just play it a little bit more safer. Although Ninja Bobat's got to be quite careful here, actually. He's taken quite a bit of damage. Luckily, Carino is going to just use the ugly Path of Flames through the middle of Dark, so just make sure that he doesn't get hurt too badly by that.
Now, Torpedo is trying to contest here, but they don't. Ninja Boba taking a lot of poke from Bellona and from Raw there, but I think he is going to be okay for now.
Yeah, over on the dual lane though, we're seeing quite a little bit of fighting going on. Moix is on about half health already. Red Pot's using the separate to try and get some very nice Fatalis juking effects going on there, but unfortunately she's not doing that much damage early on. She decided to go for this Vampiric Shroud instead of the Soul Stone, which we saw Moix build last time. So she's going for a much sort of safer sustain build, but she doesn't have that level 1 kill potential as much as you do with the Soul Stone.
Yeah, she shouldn't also. It seems like Epiphany Bolt are going for a level 4 actually back camp invade, which puts the Raw on level 5, and he just backs off, gets his tier 2 of his tier 2 sash, aka most likely looking into a Warlock sash there.
Yeah, usually you'll see it in a Warlock sash from most mages. Unfortunately for Torpedo there, they weren't actually able to go onto Dark because he was on his own. They didn't know he was on his own. They didn't see Airs actually recall. And now they just regret that they weren't able to do that much damage to him and force him back, because they very much could have done stuff. On the dual lane, again we're seeing Purplebot taking quite a bit of damage on this Geb. This is the problem with going a Geb into the Athena. You need to use that Stone Shield, but if the Athena just focuses you with those taunts, actually in mid lane even, Ninja Bobat's very low on health, the Nemesis ultimate is going to come through, and that's going to be Dark going down, first blood going to Torpedo.
The snipe from Raw did hit on Carino, but it didn't hit Ninja Bobat, and Ninja Bobat was so low, yet, well, Darko DK, he got a bit too greedy, I feel like. He dived the tower at level 5, which is, the kill was so close, but he just couldn't get it.
Oh, the middle again, Ez is very low. Game Hunter actually rotated over to finish it off, although I think Carino died to minions just then. I want to say it was minions.
I think he did, but let's not talk about that, okay? That's
oh no, I always talk about dying to minions because it's so much fun.
It's kind of embarrassing for you to die to minions. You know, it's like really
it's always embarrassing.
So like we'll just shove it under the carpet and pretend like it didn't happen. Okay?
At least it actually looked like Ez took it. I think the best ones are when you just see like this jungle buff has killed someone. Those are the funniest ones. When, like, the Cyclops mage has killed someone.
Yeah, it's like, wow. It's gonna carry us now. You gave it a kill, it's gonna carry the other team. Yeah,
always let always let Minion 43 carry you in your games.
Is it 43? I thought it was 34.
It can be 43, 34, whatever. People don't like 34 because other things. Anyway, back in the mid lane, we actually still see a little bit of a late Geb shield coming out from Purplepot, meaning that Agni still did full damage with that Agni bomb there. But I think he was expecting a little more to come out, So it was just enough to keep Ez a little bit safer, but there is still some very nice poke coming out from the side of Corinne.
Yeah, it is. One thing I would like to mention is, like, we didn't exactly talk about this last game, but, like, I really like the names, like, the dual lane of Epiphany Bolt has.
Yes.
They have their carry with Red Pod and their support at Purple Pod.
Yes, I mean, beforehand, while they were Team Bizarre, I believe their names were Ez, Not Ez, and Feels Ez Man. But we actually see over on the right-hand side, Game Hunter dived the tier 1 tower. He does die to the Olympian Archer. So yeah, Torpedo are very much feeding these minions. However,
they are feeding the minions. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like it's gonna get to a point where the minions are gonna end up carrying Epiphany Bolt. It's just
yeah,
feels bad, man.
it's the only way it's going to work for Epiphany Bolt. I mean, in general, though, Torpedo are definitely doing a very good job, as long as they are dying to the minions and not sort of the actual gods. That means that they're actually denying this sort of big amount of gold to them, because it is a very hefty amount of gold.
Yeah.
And as long as they get their own kills, that's pretty much a win-win in any sort of scenario.
It is. I guess kinda it is. Because if you take a look at the graphs, I mean, the gold difference is like 500, which is also like pretty much even, but it's a very, very, very slight lead in favor of Torpedo if you think about it.
Yeah, it is a very slight lead, and more importantly, if they have red pots or purple pots at all, that's a big win, because you actually get rid of that potion, or you get rid of that buff. Actually, Corinne, very low on health, just gonna dash away from the ult with Path of Flames, but not gonna be able to sustain enough through the bludgeon damage. Dark, very low on health though, he doesn't have his ulti. Ez is gonna be the one focused on by Ninja Bogat though. He's on quite low health though, he could actually be finished off over here. There we go, finally finished off by Dark using the bludgeon. And now Ez is going to get hit by one of the tower shots, but one is not enough, especially when you're raw, because you can also heal up afterwards. So, going to be able to get out in a very nice double kill, effectively, from the side of Epiphany Bolt.
It was, and well, Game Hunter gets picked up in the solo lane. Epiphany Bolt just pretty much picked up a 3-0 in their favor, which, I mean, obviously is kind of...
Yeah.
Appreciate.
I mean, we haven't talked much about this sort of Guan Yu in the solo lane. We saw Jing Chan last time. He was very annoying later on, and I think that's actually why this Guan Yu was picked up, because with Ymir, he was going quite a lot of penetration, not sort of taking too much damage, more looking for trying to make sure that these big frontliners didn't have too much of a frontline. Royal Ultimate used their not gonna hit Corinne though. A little bit too late, almost, but it was quite close actually. But the way Game Hunter's trying to, the reason Game Hunter's gone for this Guan Yu is because his third ability, the Taolu Assault, not only does it do damage, it does set damage, and it also shreds protections and gives Game Hunter himself protections. So, along with the Nemesis, this is effectively trying to make sure that these frontline gods of Bellona, Jing-Chan, and Geb, which are very similar to last game, it was Bellona, Jing-Chan, and Athena. They're trying to change that around and make sure that saying, yeah, you can be a frontliner, but we're going to remove all your protections. You only have your health now.
It is. If you think about it, it's a very intelligent draft coming out from Torpedo, but are they going to be able to execute on it, which is the question. Because last time, we actually thought their draft looked pretty okay, but it didn't work in team fights.
Yeah,
Is
they
it going
just
to work
didn't.
now?
They didn't have enough penetration to break through these sort of big, heavy frontliners that Epiphany Bolt had. However, with this protection shred, in theory, it should work. However, that is only in theory. Not to mention, Epiphany Bolt also have 4 mages. This is better than 4 physicals because it means that you don't have a counter against the physical damage of towers and the physical damage of your players, but you still do have 4 magical gods. If they can shut down this Bellona, who is luckily for them getting ahead, they could very much be able to win purely by building magical defense and then having the sort of 2 carriers that they have on the side, Torpedo again, just sort of destroy everyone in all existence, pretty much.
It's gonna be. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be really easy for any team to just run over the other. But if it comes to late game and Epiphany Bolt has the advantage, I am giving it to them because the Raw is gonna be crucial when they're sieging towers.
Yeah. Now keep in mind that Epiphany Bolt won game 1, and this is the best of 3. So if they win this game, they will win the sort of show match overall. However, if Torpedo win this, it will go to a game 3. So they definitely want to try and win this. Well, both teams want to win this to be able to stay in this competition or even get out of it for the side of Epiphany.
Bragging rights, basically. That's
Bragging
all there
rights.
is in the Smite scene. They all want to be like, yo, I'm better than you. Right?
Well, I mean, if
It's all about
Epiphany
proving
Bolt
you're
wins
better.
this, if Epiphany Bolt wins this, and Torpedo is the top of the group of Group B currently in challenges, that's immediately going to sort of make a lot of people go, does that mean that Group A is much stronger, seeing Epiphany Bolt is the bottom of Group A?
Yes. Actually. No.
Well, actually, on the dual lane, Red Pot is going to be finished off by Moix with a very nice backflip there. Just before the separate came off, you can obviously see that these two have been practicing these gods quite a bit. So Moix actually knew exactly when the separate was about to go, and immediately backflipped to make sure that he got the kill before she went into the incorporeal form, or incorporeal, however the hell you want to say it.
It's just, you know, like when a new god comes out and you have to learn those abilities as a caster, it's like, oh, it's a pain.
I know everything on the side of Soul because I've gotten a rank 5. I spent way too long playing her because I love those sort of mage ADC styles.
I love them too, but I'm just terrible at them. Like, I love Freya, and I love playing her, but I just have, like, very terrible win rate with her.
Well, as you're going to see, Moix's ultimate into the middle. Ez is very low. Very nice ultimate from Ninja Bobat as well. However, Dark's trying to stop Wolf of Elo Street going off. Not quite going to be able to do it, but Geb's actually going to finish it off with the knock-up there. Ez is finished off by Ninja Bobat. Carino was being focused by Dark, but it's not going to be enough. The stun's going to come out. Very nice beads, though, from Dark. However, Game Hunter's rotated over. Axios is looking for that stuff, but he doesn't have much mana. He's actually going to be able to pick up Carino. Carino is going to go down, but Game Hunter's going to finish off Dark, and now he's on very low health. Not going to be enough, though. Geb finally going to finish him off with a nice knockup.
The Geb Cataclysm picks up to Ninja Bobat and Mark are both in a bad spot. Soul and King Tang are chasing the niece there, which is Moix, and like King Tang just dived tier 1 to pick up the kill on Moix.
I think Moix was just having a nice little dance going backwards with Axios, and I think that's probably why the game may be pausing right now as, yeah, Moix did DC. I was wondering what was going on there, because it looked like she was just dancing backwards with him.
Alright, okay.
So, yeah, the pause does come out. Not sure exactly how long this one will be again, but this is starting to get a little bit more ahead for Epiphany Bolt. If you have a look at the grass, it's very minimal in terms of that lead, but it is a lead of 800 gold and 2,500 XP.
It is, like we said, it's a lead. Like, you can't be like, no, it's even. You can't be like that. It's on the side of Epiphany Bolt. But I mean, Team Torpedo, they aren't out of it just yet. They're not out of it, but
No.
could be that Epiphany Bolt wants to snowball this, which is a bit unlikely. I mean, yeah, snowball is still a thing in Smite, but it's less compared to last
Yeah.
seasons.
I
But
mean,
it can still happen.
yeah, it can very much still happen. If you actually have a look at the two solo laners, usually, as you said last game, solo island usually happens. However, this time they're making sure it doesn't. With Axios sitting at 3-1 and 2 already, and Game Hunter sitting at 3 and 3. So these two are definitely trying to battle it out, trying to get as much gold as possible, and Axios is in the lead, but by 25 gold. Like, there is very little difference between those two. However, Axios wants to try and snowball it up and get to his late game build as fast as possible. Because we saw what happened when he got to late game. He was effectively unkillable with so much HP 5 regen.
Yeah, he was. And it seems like Moex is back in the game.
Yeah. He luckily reconnected. His face is still on the tier 1 tower, but that should fix itself when he respawns.
I would like to talk about one thing here. We didn't actually mention the starter items, but if you take a look at the starter item that Qingtan has built, it's Mark of the Vanguard.
Yeah, Mark of the Vanguard is one of these things that I'm seeing more and more commonly built on Qingtan, just to try and stop a lot of this damage, especially against a god such as Guan Yu. If you don't, as I mentioned earlier, Taolu Assault, it does damage over time, but it's a very set amount of damage, and more importantly, it's quite a small amount of damage every single hit. I think early on, it's 5 per hit. Now notice the passive Mark of the Vanguard. All damage taken is reduced by 5. You are effectively immuning every single bit of that hit from Guan Yu just by buying this item. It's a very good item early on against these sort of damage over time style gods.
It is, it really is. One more thing I would like to mention is, like, counter building really is a thing in higher level of competition. I mean, in casuals you do kind of counter, but you're like, nah, I want my damage, and I want more protections, for example. Like, if you take a look at what Agni has built, he's went to the Divine Ruin to try to stop, I mean, he's not going to stop it off completely, but he's trying to lessen the amount of healing Ra is going to do.
Yeah, he wants to try and stop that. Meanwhile, you do have these what are known as cookie cutter builds, of which Game Hunt is currently building into one, roughly. He's gone into a Mystical Mail, and as we talked about earlier, there's 4 Magicals on the side of Epiphany Bolt. Why on earth would you build Mystical Mail against that? But that's because that's usually how warriors are built, and it was probably just an impulse of, I need to buy something, I'll buy this. And it will also help him clear the wave a little bit. So it does work in a lot of different ways, but in the sense of going against the gods, it doesn't make too much sense.
The thing is, like, you do forget one thing. You are, like, a lot of things that Smite are a habit to you that you do without even thinking about them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I don't have to, I guess every Smite player will know, like, something that is so much of a habit that you don't even think about doing them. Buying Mystical Mail on a solo lane warrior is a habit like that. You just don't think about it. It's something you build into. And I think that that's the problem the Game Hunter ran into when, like, he got it, and then he probably later realized that, oh, no, I'm actually against, like, a magical team.
However, then you also get this sort of overthinking style of, yes, it doesn't really work against the players, as I was talking about. But it works in every single other stance because it allows them to actually clear the lane.
Yeah, it does.
Actually we're going to see Neath finishing off Red Pot on the left-hand side, so that's going to be another solo kill to Moex there, which is quite nice. And he used his ultimate for it, so that's something that you should do as Neath. Try and get that ultimate off as much as possible to secure kills, or at least assist in kills, so you can get this extra gold. And then we're going to see, it looks like Geb's trying to go into this fight, but he can't quite work on it. It's actually going to be Dark going into the fight, because they want to start Gold Jury on the side of Torpedo.
I think they were trying for it, and it was more of a bait. Shinkan is here to do some damage onto Moex, but he jumps out of there. Double taunt by Athena into bombs from Agni. Oh my god, this combo.
Yeah,
Yes,
this combo
no
is
one
very
died.
annoying.
Yes,
Dark
no one
is
died.
finally going to fall. Ninja Bobat had the Athena ultimate channeled onto him, but not going to be able to find it close enough to be able to affect, I believe that was Ez there. However, Axios was too far up against on his own, and now Ez is going to get rooted out. Very nice beads as well. Should keep him alive, maybe? Yeah, as well as the soul rotation over with that knockup. With, oh my god, I've forgotten her ultimate name. But that was a very nice knockup there to be able to keep Ez alive.
It was... Damn.
Yep. Oh, that another route onto Purple Pot as well. Red Pot's going to be pulled in as well. Doesn't have the tap rate to get away. And now Ez is left alone. Purple Pot went the wrong way to help him. And that's going to be another kill going to the side of Torpedo after they just picked up Gold Jury.
By Game Hunter there. He was like running back to his tower, but Game Hunter got in front of him and tried to stop him from moving forward. Those
Yeah.
small things in Smite you just love.
Yeah, I mean, Torpedo has this very good team of body blocking and slowing down. I mean, very few of them actually have these sort of big, heavy, proper stuns, roots, and cripples. Like, they have a stun on Guan Yu that lasts a second or so, Agni's stun, which lasts a second or so, and Neith's root, which I believe lasts up to 1.8 seconds at max rank. I want to say it's 1.8. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it sort of is not as much as some of the others. 1.5. I was 0.3 seconds off. And then there's Athena's taunt, which is 2 seconds. But that's not really like a hard CC. It does do a lot, but you're still moving during it. So it's sort of, they have this very sort of body block style, slow you down, kill you slowly composition, which can be quite effective, as you saw in that last fight. They all pretty much got body blocked into the same place and slowed down incredibly. They got just slowed down so much they couldn't really do anything about it.
Yeah, that team fight was just so well played by Torpedo, and that is what they were lacking last game. But it seems like they are making up for it this game by actually doing the stuff right.
Yeah, they're doing this very nice job of working together as a team very well. I think it was sort of, the previous one was very much built around Soul. However, it didn't work out too well. It wasn't as thought through as this composition. And like, this is working incredibly well. This is perfect against this sort of team composition as well that Epiphany Bot has drafted, and was showing that they drafted as they did pretty much the exact same composition last game. It was only they had Agni instead of Ra, and Athena instead of Geb, and Hui instead of Soul.
Yeah,
so it's kind of very similar, but very similar in terms of the characters. Actually, going to see Purplebot blinking in the middle lane, but not really able to find too much. Although there is an Athena right next to him.
Athena does connect, and well, Purplebot eats a bomb from Agni, but that is pretty much the end of that. And I don't think Epiphany Bolt wants to dive Torpedo under that tier 1 tower. I don't think Torpedo just wants to let them back for free either.
Yeah, they want to try and punish this, but they also want to be very careful because they know that they are 3v4. There are more reinforcements coming up. Athena and Guan Yu are just below, behind the tier 1 tower now. They're actually just caught up together. And now this is going to start being a more even fight. However, with that Ra hill, Epiphany Bot have the much better sustain. They've got to be quite careful about staying in this fight for too long on the side of Torpedo.
And I feel like they just want to disengage this fight, because like if you can see, Tang went over to the solo lane to try to pick up some farm, but Torpedo is just crushing this tier 1 tower. They want to pick it up. Top by Athena picks up 2, and that's beat force by Valona.
Yeah, Axios is right in the middle of their team. They're going to look for an ultimate, but it's all beast away. Axios is on about half health already. This could be a good time to go on him. They're not going to get the taunt just yet, though. I'm going to see Purplebot going in. Taunt as well, followed up. Cataclysm is going to hit, but Ninja Robot and Carino are going to be taken out immediately. Wolf of the Illustrate very low as well, going to get slowed down by Lona. That's going to be a double kill going there. Game Hunter in the backline finds Red Pot and forces out Purple Pot, but it's still not going to be enough for Torpedo to win this fight, as Axios is still chasing down Moix. Very nice route, actually going to hit both Axios and Dark there, and probably save Moix's life.
That team fight though, won for free in favor of Epiphany Bolt. The Ra hit a snipe so glorious. I mean, like Valona in the back line trying to pick up the knee. That's the fact out of that. But like, Ra hit like a very glorious snipe. Like, it was so glorious it won in the team fight.
Yeah, Game Hunter's still sitting in middle here. He wants to try and get a bit of farm, and more importantly, he wants to try and stop Axios from getting farm, as he is very low on mana. He has a lot of health though. That doesn't look like much, but if Sushi wants to read off of that, I don't have the F5, I don't have the slates player up, but I imagine that was somewhere along the lines of
800.
about 1,000. 800? Only 800?
800
okay.
HP.
I thought it was going to be more like 1,000. But that snipe in that previous fight was great from Airs. I was actually sitting there watching it happen. That was a very nice setup. And more importantly, the way that Torpedo works as a team, as I said, it's a very sort of body block style comp, they're all going to be in the same place. And if they're all in the same place, they're all available to be hit by Aurora.
Yeah, they are. Although it seems like Team Torpedo is sneaking a cheeky Gold Fury here, and they destroyed it before Epiphany Bolt knew anything about it.
I think Purple Pot knew about it. He got zoned away by Wolf Velo Street, but I don't think Epiphany Bolt were in the position to be able to actually aggress on that. So they effectively just let Torpedo take it.
But like, would you want to do that? I mean, I would at least try to see if I can, you know, force them out of it.
They know they're winning team fights. They don't have to worry about it too much. Epiphany Bolt decides to win that fight, and there's going to be another one coming up in about 2-3 minutes, maybe. So, like, they're winning these fights. They don't really need to worry about a Gold Fury, especially if they know that even if they do steal it, they're probably going to have about 2 or 3 deaths for it. That's not really that worth it this later on in the game. And more importantly, Torpedo could have then gone for Fire Giant afterwards if they did try and contest and lost that fight.
Yep. Yeah, I see. Obviously, we're still gonna have to see if Epiphany, like, Torpedo Gaming is ahead by quite a bit, like about 3.5k gold. But if Epiphany Bolt is able to play those team fights that they are their stronger suit for some reason, they've been playing them amazingly. If they can keep playing them, then, well, they might actually take the game, but we can't talk yet because it's still pretty even, like, not even, pretty
still
early.
pretty even, but there is a fight in the middle right now. Ninja Bobat on about half health already. Very nice snipe going to hit Carino onto about half health as well. So now Epiphany Bolt immediately have the lead in this. And like I said, they have that Ra, they have that healing. Although Dark's sitting on about 2/3 of his health, he can easily be healed up by the Ra Solar Blessing. They don't have to worry about it too much. And more importantly, they can start fighting then because of that. And they can actually start sieging this middle tier 1 as Axios goes in.
Ninja Bobat got picked up by the Xing Tang there, but everything is okay. Game Hunter has just rotated from the soul lane. But it seems like Epiphany Bolt is shifting their attention back over to Neith, since Bologna has rotated over to try to pick her up, but it was just a disarm, and Neith backflipped away. I don't know what Epiphany Bolt is doing here. I think they're trying to bait.
Yeah,
Torpedo
they want to try and get
spot.
Torpedo in, but Torpedo, that team of sort of high knowledge, they know that that's exactly what's happening. They don't really want to go into that. So they're just trying to play it relatively safe, and actually Axios could get caught out here. Very nice whirlwind and Wrench and Steel is going to knock away Wolf of Velo Street, but it's still not going to be enough. He is going to go down here. Knock up, not going to do anything. Dark, not going to be able to find the stun from the Eagles Rally, and now that's almost a wasted ultimate. This Apparate going to be used by Red Pot as well as the Beads. Game Hunter going to try and go in with the Athena ultimate channeled in between it. Nice cataclysm. Very good stun though from the Agni Bomb.
Yeah, it was. The Bologna, it's really low and she has to disengage at this point. Tier 1 is being taken by Torpedo. The taunt hit too, but Red Pot was able to get out of there. Athena, Bologna does fall, but Corneo falls as well to Purple Pot, aka the Geb. And it's just a 4v2 in front of the tier 2 tower, but Ninja Bobat is really low. I don't think it's a good idea for them to stick around here. Game Hunter takes damage from the Ross Knight. And Purple Pot is low as well, but
yeah, luckily the Stone Shield is going to save him from that.
Yeah, but they're still not retreating. Like, I think if Epiphany Bolt is calling go, we can maybe get the kill out of them.
Yeah, Torpedo wasn't like properly hard retreating, but that could be the problem for Epiphany Bolt as Ez is on no health at all. That's probably like 10 health, but the very nice ultimate from Axios is going to keep him alive a little bit longer. He is still in his heal. He finally goes down to Moix, who gets a double kill, getting the Gev as well. However, Axios found Ninja Bobat in the backline.
This has been a really interesting team fight. Supernova by Soul and... yeah, she's just getting out of there, and Game Hunter didn't want to follow up because the trail she leaves behind does those stun.
Yeah, and it's quite a powerful stun actually. Red Pot very low on health, is going to be using the Separate to get away. Not quite enough to be able to kill Game Hunter though. We do see Moix as well over here. Very nice route over the wall. He's going to secure the kill onto Red Pot, and now he's going to try and get away from Axios. He's going to use the life heal from that. Axios immediately going to look for Game Hunter. Carino finishing off Dark in the background. Game Hunter is on very low health. He got hit by the dot from Axios, but it's not enough to keep him going to the fountain. And now Wolf of Velostrate and Carino doing enough damage to Axios. Whirlwind of Rage and Steel used, but it's not going to be enough as the beads come out as well. And Carino is trying to find the last little bit of damage onto Axios, who has no mana. This is probably a very dead Jing Chan.
Yeah, he is. But the fact that he was able to keep them busy for so long, like, proves just how much health he has. He has about 3k health at the moment with all the items he has hold. It's just, yeah, I mean, I don't think he even died during that team fight, did he?
No, it was just he was so low on health and mana that he just sort of... But he kept running around, getting a lot of HP 5 from his Raw, hitting a lot of people with that. However, Torpedo started up the Fire Giant here. They're looking for Wolf of English, no, Purple Bot even, just to try and make sure that they can do that safely. Purple Bot is definitely going down here. He's not got any way of living after this. And now Airs, Red Pot, and Dark here. Heavenly Agility used by Dark actually, and along with an Eagle's Rally, is going to hit Carino and Game Hunter there, but nothing else is going to come off of it. The stun going to come out from Carino, no, not even Carino, Moex even, and this should probably be a dead little Roman girl.
Is she though? Yeah, okay, she does fall. Raw, go back in a bad spot. Raw, she have to get out. Soul does a lot of damage on Moex. Moex is able to back up out of there. Ninja Boba gets picked up by Xingtian, and is that it? What is the plan here? Oh my god, the stun.
Yep, and now Axios is in a little bit of trouble as well, but he has a lot of heal. Very nice backflip away from the two of Soul to make sure that she doesn't get slowed out. Axios going to get a very nice knock as well, but the stun from Agni is going to kill him, and now only Disapparate is left. The Red Pot is dead to right here. Well, she doesn't have a way of getting out of this. Very nice knockup though, actually may save her.
Yeah, it's... I don't know, this team fight has just been going on for ages. It just feels like there has not been any downtime. I mean, both teams are just fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting.
Thank God. For a moment, I thought Purple Bot was going to go in again.
I would have been like, Purple Bot, please. I mean, like, I like your name, and I like purple, but like...
Yeah. I'm waiting for the rest of Epiphany Bolt to change into, like, Power of Elixir, Power of Defense, and the most important one, the Don't Drink Me.
Yo, did you drink that during the Halloween event? It is amazing.
Yeah, I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, to the people that do not play casual modes like Arena, you should give it a try, because they have this very amazing pot that says "Don't drink me," and then on the description it says "Drink me." And when you drink it, the icon that appears says "Should not have done that."
Yeah.
Then something happens. We won't spoil it, but something happens.
Yeah, it's a great potion. But back to this game anyway, we're 31 minutes in. Let's have a look at the gold and XP difference. And it was originally in Epiphany Bolt's favor. Now it's very heavily in the way of Torpedo.
Purple Pot got blown up there.
I wasn't even looking.
That was a power of Nemesis over there. Ra is in a bad spot. Agni gets his flame wave onto him, but he is able to get out so far. Ninja Bobat is still chasing. Slows on. Oh no.
That was just enough slow to actually make sure he's going to live. Moex, though, taking a lot of damage. Very nice backflip. Actually should keep him alive, as Bologna can't chase up. Bologna's still underneath tower. Game Hunter chasing away. Axios is going to be TPing into the tier 2 tower, and immediately they know that they should back off because they cannot kill Axios easily without Moex.
Yeah, they really can. He just has so much health, and he's actually really tanky. He has 3 physical protection items, and well, the other team has like 3 physicals, so...
Yeah, this is pretty much the same thing he was doing last time, going into a large amount of protections and health, making sure that his HP 5 passive isn't wasted whatsoever, that he is effectively regenerating health no matter what, and you can't kill him. They do it, and again, we see the Neath built in this sort of penetration damage. This time she's actually getting crit because there's no Hu Yi. But she's also got the kin size again over the Executioner to be able to make sure that she can actually rip through Axios' health. And you saw it against Purple Pot. I haven't seen it against Axios yet, but Moex's basic attacks are destroying these tanks.
Yeah, they are. They really are. And that is what he was going for to begin with, because
Yeah.
he has to. Also, like, one thing I would like to mention here, usually when hunters go with the Transcendence build, they will go Soul Eater to get that extra protection against physicals and, like, the boxing potential, but...
Yeah. We're actually going to see this
AKA
fight
Moex
coming
has
out.
gone to.
Yeah, Ez has already used his ultimate, so Ninja Bobet's pretty much safe here. Axios is just sitting in the middle of everyone. They're not going for him because they know that they need to lock him down. They need to try and go for every single other target on Epiphany Bolt. So they just pretty much leave him to do what he does. They've got very easy ways of counteracting it with CC immune ultimates and beads and Aegis and stuff. So they just completely ignore him and looking for the other ones like Dark, or even the Ez or Red Pot. Any of those three are very good characters for them to go and try and kill.
Yeah, they are, but they're not killing the Xing Tang anytime soon.
Yeah, but we do see this Dance of the Fire Giants start to get ready. They know that there's a... Yeah, they're going to get rid of that. Actually, Dark taking way too much damage. She's already on no health already. Going to be finished up by Carino. That's the first blood of this game. Well, not even this game, this fight. And now Torpedo already have the advantage here.
Yeah, they do. Red Pot is getting engaged on, but the immunity stops the beats from coming out. King Tang does use his ult to try to push them out, and now, like Epiphany Bolt, they're on full retreat. They do not want to fight this with Bologna down.
Yeah, they really don't want to fight this with Bologna. Geb's going to come around the backside as well. They know that there's a ward there. They can't really go for him. Purple Pot taking quite a bit of damage as well. They're going to go straight for him rather than that. Cataclysm going to come out, but the cavalry charge is going through. Game Hunter's going to be in the backline already, looking for the soul. Axios is caught out a little bit. He can't do too much. Luckily, the 2 from Soul is going to be enough to sort of separate a little bit, but it's not going to be enough as Red Pot is taking so much damage. Carino finally going to finish him off with the damage over time effect of his passive, and now Athena ultimately going to come through. Nice curse out from Game Hunter as well. Ez is taking so much damage from Game Hunter here.
But Gap Shield is really good, but he does go down. Ra also does go down. It's a 5v. It was a 5v4 and then turned into 5v3. There was no way he was getting out of that. Torpedo getting that tier 2 tower in solo lane.
Yeah, and more importantly, Dark just uses beads. This is probably a dead Bologna again. He doesn't really have anyone to come save him. Jing Chan is too far away. This is going to be another kill. He came into the fight just after he respawned, and he's already dead again.
That's just the worst. You know, it's like...
Yeah.
It's like you come to a fight and you're like, alright, let's go boys. I died before, but I'm gonna do good this time, and then it just feels bad.
Yeah, and unfortunately Torpedo are about to finish off this Fire Giant, getting it. Now Axios is going to be the one focused, as they have Fire Giant. They can actually do anything against this guy now. And he's going to get slowed out. He's going to use the 3 to get away, but it's not going to be enough. He is finally going to go down again. That is another kill, and more importantly, they are showing that they can kill the Axios.
They can. I mean, it seems like this comp worked out a lot for them. Game Hunter with the protection shred and Ninja Bobat just stealing your protections. It's just, I feel like it's what they needed.
Yeah.
To win the team fights.
We've seen this Soul in the ADC role for 2 games now. How do you think they could improve? Because she's lost this first game. She lost the first game, and it seems like she's not doing that well for the second game as well. Even though she's sitting on 22k player damage, it's still not enough to be able to carry her team.
I don't know, like, damage she does is really very limited, it seems. Like, she didn't do as much damage to Carino as I thought she would. Like, the 2 of her does a lot of damage, and it can get up to 900, and it didn't do it. I think she just doesn't have the damage required to bring much to the table at this point.
Yeah, well, it's more, she either doesn't have that damage, or she doesn't have the sustain, as she hasn't gone into something like a Polynomicon or a Bancross Talon just yet. She's going into a lot more damage with this most likely Soul Reaver going to come out. I'd assume that's going to be a Soul Reaver, because Cooksoft is a little bit too late. She may not even start stacking it. it may not get finished by this time. So
Yeah,
probably gonna be Assault Reaver there.
Oh, neat ult does hit Jackpot. Axios on that Chintek in front, like, tried to body block the Phoenix, but that was it. Torpedo got it without much trouble. Now they're looking to pick up the left Phoenix. Bellona is in a bad spot. We got taunted and got a lot of damage on him. Raw ult did not connect, and well, Raw once again not in a good spot.
Yeah, he's just having a lot of troubles. This Divine Ruin is actually really hurting him. Gonna get taunted in by Wolf of Ela Street, but no one on the side of Torpedo has died just yet. But neither has anyone on Epiphany Bolt, and now Ninja Bobat's on a very low health. His shield has just been finished up. Dark is wanting to go in onto him, but they don't have the damage. The perfect taunt as well, but the snipe from airs over the wall is going to be able to finally finish off Moex. But Dark is going to be finished off there, Axios is going to be finished off by Carino, and now Ninja Bobat's trying to chase off airs as well. He's on no health, but it's not enough. Ninja Bobat's slowly healing up, but it's not going to be able to survive against Red Pot. And now Torpedo going to have to back away after going 2 for 2 in that fight.
It was 2 for 2. I'm gonna say still in favor of Torpedo because they got 2 Phoenixes out of it.
Well, we'll see as they are still fighting. Red Pot gonna finally go down, but a beautiful snipe is gonna get a double kill, and now Wolf of Ela Street is the only person left alive on the side of Torpedo, and it looks like Epiphany Bot can actually do something here.
Yo!
That was a perfect snipe.
That snipe! It got 2 of them. Like, they just lined up perfectly, and he took the shot. Oh my god.
That was great.
That was
Wolf of Elos, you know he's just sitting there just like, guys, why did you die? What happened? Where did everyone go? But I mean, that was a huge bloodbath. Effectively, it was 2 for 4 in that fight now. So big win for Epiphany Bolt there. And more importantly, that was against a Fire Gianted team. They now know that they can fight no matter what. However, they weren't able to capitalize off of that advantage and get sort of any of these towers. So they're still quite far behind in gold. They don't have their 6th item, whereas everyone on the side of Torpedo does.
Yeah, they does, and they're pretty much like... I think it's just Wolf of Ela Street that doesn't have his last item completed.
Yeah.
And, well, Ninja Bobat still needs that second active, but he's probably still thinking about what to get. One thing I would like to point out, though, Torpedo has 2 chin sizes on their side.
Yeah, and I mean, this is what we were talking about how Torpedo are drafting this composition. They're going to try and fight these very tanky frontliners. However, that's actually starting to backfire now. So Airs and Red Pot are starting to do a lot more damage to their backliners because the backliners can't out DPS those 2 backliners. So they're starting to do a lot more damage. They have to hope in the sort of lifesteal and power from Fire Giant. However, this is going to be a bit of a bad fight now as Purplebot is already here. He's already going to be going down most likely. Very nice Cataclysm. We do hit stasis mode, unfortunately. Oh, no.
Oh, Iris, please. Fix spectator, please.
I believe the game probably just finished, which is why we just hit spectator stasis mode.
Can you not, like, fast forward, maybe?
No, this is, like, this is the annoying thing about spectator mode. If you don't know what happens, once a game ends, if someone was in a previous lobby or something, it usually has this very weird effect of returning you to that lobby, and it cuts off the information feed that we get, assuming that we've seen the entire game. So we're still 3 minutes behind, but we're in. But it cuts it off. But it knows that it's not the end of the game, so we get stuck in this sort of very weird running animation thing, which you can see on literally every single person except Ra, because you know what? Who needs to stand still in the middle of a team fight, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, according to the admin, I'm calling him Mountain Goat, Torpedo won this game. So that means that actually we will be going to a 3rd game, and it's an all to play for game.
Hello Welcome back. We're here with... What are we here with? What teams are we spectating at the moment?
Well, we have Epiphany Bolt on the Order side, and then on the Chaos side is Torpedo.
So, main question is, who is going to win this game and receive the ultimate bragging rights?
I do not know. I have no idea who's going to win this game, but all I know is it should be an awesome game to watch, as we have some very unconventional picks, as I've just realized I still forgot to turn off the audio. Whoops. There we go. We have some very unconventional picks. To start off with, I haven't even got the people in the right place. So, yeah, turns out it's not going to be an Emir support. It's going to be a Narjar support, and Emir in the jungle.
I mean, you were so starstruck over Game Honor playing Famana that you just forgot everything.
Yeah, it's the little babby.
Can you breathe? Like,
I
breathe, or is that fine?
I think I can.
Alright, okay.
If not, if you just hear me collapse on the floor, I'll just try and set it to directed beforehand, so it'll be fine.
Alright, okay.
And we do actually see a bit of damage coming out early on. Red Pot and Purple Pot took quite a bit of damage off of that ricochet from Moex.
It seems like the boys from Epiphany Bolt are invading the speed buff, although they're trying to. They're just two very big creatures, I guess, like Kabrakan and Ymir, around the speed buff, but they didn't pick it up.
Yeah, they don't have much damage together as a team, especially as they've gone for quite the aggressive look. You can see he's gone for the speed increase and the stun, but he doesn't really have the sort of AoE damage which Ninja Bobat can get with Brutalize, but he's actually going to have to be going into the Unchanged Dash to try and make sure that he's able to do stuff. They did have to leash the buff. This is still going on. Game Hunter has a bit of XP, but it's not enough to get to level 2. Although Dark Void may actually be the first person to go down, finally going down. He's going to get the win, and now Axios has got to be careful. They do have the Unchained Leap as well. They can get out, and Carinia is going to be over here as well. This is going to be another kill going to the side of Torpedo. That's why you've got to be careful about invades, and that's why Game Hunter's level 2 already.
One thing to note there, Ymir went into Purple Pot.
Yeah.
And then he died. That's something you should consider there. That's a really bad loss for him.
Yeah, from I thought he didn't go into Purple Pot because he does have boots level 1, but he must have bought it afterwards to try and make sure he has something. So yeah, that's going to very much suck, because as you can see, there's already a fairly large difference of about 500 gold between those two players. Yeah. Then also add an extra 450 on top of that, because he effectively lost that gold with losing the the Purple Pot. So that's going to very much suck for Epiphany Bolt. He's already about, Dark, it's already about 1,000 gold behind.
Yeah, he is. If you look at, the Fat Loki, aka Kraken, is level 2, while Game Warner just now hit level 4.
Yeah.
The difference is just so big for them at this moment. Like, Kraken is not gonna have a good time in the solo lane.
Yeah, and now Game Hunter, if he really wanted to, he could actually go and steal Kabrakan's blue buff, which Kabrakan does incredibly poorly without. He needs a blue buff to really sort of stay alive. Over in the mid lane though, Carinia could actually be in a bit of trouble. Ez going to be able to find it with the Nubis ultimate. Ninja Bobat finishing up Dark White, and now Ez is probably not going to be in too much of a good place either. Though Ninja Bobat is only level 4, he's going to get a nice Unchained Leap on, but there is going to be a stun coming out from Ez very soon. Going to actually use the Grasping Hands though to make sure he's going to live for that little bit longer.
Game Hunter did rotate though. I think he's gonna see if the Anubis is gonna leave his tower, and if he does, and it seems like he is in a very bad spot.
Yep, there we go. Another kill going down to the side of Torpedo. Game Hunter sitting at 2-0, and now Ninja Bobat sitting at 2-0 as well. This is looking very bad for the side of Epiphany Bolt early on, but they always have been able to come back pretty alright late game. They may not have to worry too much, but they do have to keep that in mind, that this could go very poorly for them.
They do. I mean, if you take a look at the graphs, I know it's rather early, but gold difference is 1.4k, which is not a little difference for being this early in the game.
Yeah, it's quite a big difference. And more importantly, that's still not showing everything, as we talked about with the potion on Emir. So it's still even further ahead for the side of Torpedo. This is just starting to get a little bit more difficult for Epiphany Bolt. Hopefully they will be able to come back, everyone finally hitting level 5 and making sure they've got their ultimates ready. So the next fight should be a little bit more even, but it could still very much be in their favour. You can see Game Hunter right now is just walking in circles, literally around Axios. He can't do too much. He's about to take the 2-1 tower at 4 minutes 30 seconds in.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Engagement in middle lane, Carino does get stunned by the Anubis, but you know, never mind. Moax just doesn't listen. He's just like, no, I'm gonna kill this Naja. And Carnio's like, yeah, no, never mind. Don't pay
Now
attention
Game
to
Hunt's
dueling.
rotated over to this as well. Axios is very low as well. He's going to be using his ultimate to try and separate himself away from Carino. Is going to get the stun onto Game Hunter as well, but it's not going to be enough. He is definitely going down. Game Hunter going to get another kill on the side of himself. Ez as well, trying to get himself away. Grasping Hand's going to slow Game Hunter down a bit and get himself out of there, but only just. And is he going to try and go back in? This is probably not a good idea.
Probably is. I mean, I don't know. We actually didn't even talk about the Naja support, and it seems like there's 4 members from Epiphany Bolt in the middle lane. They're all slowly rotating over to.
Yeah, they were looking for Gold Fury maybe at that start. I mean, Cupid is going to start it up here, but Moax is a very good god at trying to defend Gold Furies. He has that huge Sunbreaker ultimate, of which, although it may not look like it does much damage, I think it's somewhere at level... Oh, wow. Ninja Bobat going to finish off Ez again in the mid lane. And because Game Hunter's rotated, he's already taken out his tier 1 tower. He doesn't need to be in that lane anymore. He can just go into the middle lane and get 3 kills there.
Yeah, he did. He literally won his lane because Epiphany Bolt decided to go for an invade.
Yeah,
That's literally what happened.
This is why you got to be so careful about invades and back off when you know you're not going to get anything. You don't want to stay around too long, because if you stay around too long, that is exactly what happens. You aren't able to get the buff, you aren't able to find a kill, and then you start taking too much damage as well. It also wasn't that great of a... It's Vamana and Fenrir, and most likely Fenrir was going to have Red Pot, and it wouldn't be surprised as well if Vamana actually also went Red Pot to start off with. We can't tell now. I'll probably have to look back a bit, but you can go Red Pot Vamana. He didn't. Okay. But I mean, you can sometimes have Red Pot Vamanas. And if you could kill one of those early on, great, but then also they can kill you very early on as well. Ninja Bobat going to find Ez again. Very nice CC immunity, actually going to keep everyone away from the Fields of Love. And now Red Pot taking quite a bit of damage. Athena ultimate was channeled onto... No, it wasn't Athena ultimate, it was Naja ultimate, went onto Moax, but he wasn't going to be able to find much else. That's 2 kills again in favor of Torpedo, and I think they're going to look for the Gold Fury now.
I mean, that was 3 in total. And
Yeah.
Game Hunter was camping back there, waiting for the Ymir.
Yeah, he still wants to do it. Actually missed the freeze, did that. And although he walled off Game Hunter, that doesn't matter. Torpedo just got the Gold Fury.
Yeah, they did. It's just like a really unfortunate chain of events where after, you know, like those small plays, like I said before, those small plays are just the reason why I love Smite. He blinked before he got any damage.
Yeah. And, like, this is just looking very unfortunate for the side of Epiphany Bolt. It almost feels like we're Lemony Snicket here. If you know that reference, shout out to you. Anyway,
I don't.
So, some people will. I'll explain it to you after the cast. However, Torpedo are just very far ahead right now. They're 5,000 gold in the lead. They've taken a tower already. And more importantly, they've been doing very good grouping up. As you can see, Moax taking out Dark again, getting called out. I think that was after clearing out the left side mid camp. So
It was, yeah, it wasn't. He went to red, and then he was looking at mid, but then people in mid on the side of Torpedo spotted him, and that was the end of it.
yeah, I mean, Torpedo do actually seem to have a very good Chaos side. It seems to be their better side almost.
Yeah, it really seems like it. I mean, first game they were playing on other side and they didn't do so great.
Oh,
I mean,
actually.
they won the lane.
Yeah,
But-
Purple Pot's ultimate was just used, although Ninja Bobat did have to use his own Ragnarok to be able to... he wanted to try and get the kill on Purple Pot, he very nearly did. It's just that Naruto ultimate actually saved him.
Well, like we said before, they did win the lane, but they didn't win the team fights, and Epiphany Bolt was able to pick up game 1. Game 2 and game 3, however, it seems like to be like very strong in favor of Torpedo.
Yeah, Torpedo are definitely sort of sitting in this driving seat right now. They can do a lot of things. You can actually see a great ricochet onto Purple. It was actually a triple bounce there. That nearly
Nice
didn't
one.
hit.
Nice
And now Wolf of Either Street going to look for Purple Bot as well. Purple Bot doesn't have his ultimate. They know about this. Wolf of Either Street actually going to get the beads followed by dive bomb to make sure he gets out of the fields of love safely. Axios going to follow up though. He's definitely going to get down after that with the walls used as well. Dark Joyo is also going to get into his ulti as well, but he's not going to do too much. Ez finally finishing off Ninja Bobat though. Game Hunter stomping through the rest of this crowd. Red Pot taking quite a bit of damage, forced to back off away from the last two of his team, but he was enough to actually be able to get Carreño to go down. Game Hunter going to finally finish off Red Pot. The stun going to come out into Game Hunter, but diminishing returns make sure that it's not going to be that long. And now they're trying to fight under the tier 1 tower. They can't fight here for too long. Game Hunter doesn't have much health. He's not going to chase them. But that was... that was a 3 for 3.
Or 3?
3 for 3.
2.
4 for 3.
Or 3, yes. Alright, 4. It's just
4 for 3 in
unfortunate
favor of Torpedo.
Yeah, we don't even know, you know, we don't even know. It's just like a lot of game owner stopping and some laser beams from Anubis. That's totally what happened.
Yeah, I mean, Ez is actually doing quite well. Even though his team is behind, he's got 3 of their 5 kills. He's been doing quite a good job of finishing off these kills and trying to make sure that Epiphany Bolt do have some way of getting into this. Unfortunately, the best way that Anubis works is in a 1v1 scenario when they don't have Shield of the Underworld.
Yes.
And there has been no 1v1 scenarios. As you can see, Purple Bot here, forced to use his ultimate again to try and get away from Ninja Bobat. He is so terrified of this giant doggy that he just can't get anywhere near him.
Meanwhile, in the
Whoa.
solo lane, Game Owner got a bit too confident after he got 7-0 and 4. He contested the blue buff, but Epiphany Bolt, they were ready to give up their lives, defend that blue buff, and which they did. They didn't end up giving their lives, but they took a life of Game Owner.
Yeah, and this is one of those things that Smite should have probably taught you by now, Game Hunter. Even though you may be a god, you are still killable.
Nothing lasts forever. Everything is about to fade at some point, even if you're immortal.
Yep,
Stuff
even
happens.
if you're immortal, you will
Stuff
still
happens.
die.
Yes, stuff happens. You maybe like someone will kill you, like you'll never know out of nowhere. You know.
Yeah.
Everything can happen.
I mean, it is actually really interesting having a look at these mythologies where their gods are immortal, as per se, yet they always die. It's kind of just like, what? How? But they're immortal, aren't they? Surely. But the way it's actually a mistranslation, and it actually means that they're impenetrable by man, but gods can kill gods, is I
Yes.
think what it's... But anyway, back to this game. We're going to see it 16-6 in favor of Torpedo. The beads are actually going to be used by Moix. It's going to get a nice ricochet as well, forcing to use the dive bomb away. However, Wolf of Illustrate and Carreño are in the area. Is Epiphany Bolt going to start? No, they're just going to get the Gold Fury away to make sure they can actually de-ward. Game Hunter, meanwhile, is still over on this right-hand side. He's finally teleported in. Thought they were going to go on Gold Fury, but they haven't actually started it yet. Purple Pot is going to go down, though, and now the rest of Epiphany Bot's got to try and run away.
That was a nice turn and stun by the Anubis. I don't know if Emma spotted that, but it was really beautiful.
Yeah, I think I just got the end of it. Red Pot still has his ultimate. He can go in if he wants, however, Axios went in a little bit too far, but Ez finishes off Ninja Bobat over the wall. even during Ragnarok, and now Redpot's going to try and run away, leaving Dark on his own, along with Ez, actually. Ez is just going to try and finish off someone in the backline. Carino is going to be the one he's trying to get, but he's not able to find enough. Not going to hit the freeze as well, as Carino used the Path of Flames through him, and now the rest of Epiphany Bolt's got to be careful. There's only a Redpot and Ez left. Redpot doesn't have much mana, and Ez is getting chased down by Wolf of Ela Street and Moex.
I mean, Moex will likely pick him up here, even though Athena did
Oh,
get him.
no.
Moex with that very greedy play is going to be the death of him, most likely. Yes, it is. It would have been awkward if he didn't die.
That was a very nice ultimate, actually, from the side of Purple Pot. Just enough to be able to make sure that Red Pot could get away, and also after he used the dive bomb, so he knew that he wasn't going to be able to get out unless he got a very quick Martha the Crow ricochet combo off, of which would only stun one person anyway, so the other people should in theory be able to finish it off. And now Epiphany Bolt just dewarding Gold Fury again. They're trying to get some very good ward contention around this place.
Yeah, they are, and that is really important. Freeze onto Ninja Boba, that is his speed post out. Ultimate by the Ymir, but does not result in a kill in favor of Epiphany Bolt. Although, it seems like they are attempting to go for the Gold Fury now. Feel free?
Yeah. Ez is actually sitting in the back line. I very much like this positioning. He's trying to make sure that no one can come around the backside, as he knew there was someone pushing in the mid lane. But now Game Hunter's going to be here. I think Epiphany Bolt just go, no, we should back off of this. Let Torpedo start it. We've been able to win these fights time and time again. Just do it. Just let them do it again.
Like, Kraken is back. Torpedo is here trying to attempt bait to Valkyrie. We don't know. Carino took a lot of damage from the Naga, but she does get picked up. Kraken in the backline. Ultimate by Cupid is able to pick up Ninja Bobat. Anubis is in a really bad spot, gets picked up by Moa, and it seems like Gold Fury is going to go to Epiphany Bolt.
Game Hunter's very low right now. We've got the heart bomb on him. He's trying to keep alive. The Athena ult was actually saving him quite nicely. And now Dark is very low. He's going to go down. Axios is very nearly finished up as well. He's going to go into the Trinos just to try and do what he can. Redpot actually going to finish off Game Hunter before he can finish off anyone else. And now Axios is just about to be finished off. He is able to get... he just got Moex just beforehand. And Redpot gets the deicide, leaving only the Naja and the Cupid alive. And in fact, Naja died at the start of that fight. So in overall, only one person was left standing after that Gold Fury fight.
I mean, that was... Let's take a look at the graphs here. Okay, it seems like the Torpedo, like, they had the lead for what seemed like a while. But with that Gold Fury and with all those kills, it seems like the XP and gold difference isn't as big as it once used to be.
Yeah, it used to be pretty much in favor of Torpedo. However, as we've always said, it's not as snowbally as Season 1, and you can come back exactly like that. And now, although Epiphany Bolt are still behind about 2,000 gold, they can very much come back. The XP difference is almost negligible right now.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, 1,400 is about a level, I want to say, at this point.
I think the problem is, like, if you look at it, the main XP is, like, on the side of Game Hunter. He's level 18, while his counterpart is only level 14. But if you look at other roles, like the jungle, like Ymir is 12, Ninja Bobat is 13, Anubis is 14, Carino is 14, Purple Pod is 13, Wolf of Ela Street is 11. For some reason, he is behind on the Naja on XP, so he's ahead on gold.
Wolf of
Really
Ela Street's
strange.
actually been rotating a hell of a lot more than Naja. Carino actually going to be immediately taken out. Purple Pot is up in the air currently taking out Ninja Bobat. Is he going to be able to do too much though? Ninja Bobat is going to be able to get the unleashed that and jump away. The Athena ultimate actually just saved him.
Yeah,
That was-
he was so low.
Yeah, that's
He has like
enough.
he has 40 HP about now. I feel like he pretty much got down to 1 HP, but like survived because of it.
Yeah, if you don't know, Athena's ultimate, when it's channeled, actually reduces all the incoming damage to that teammate by 25%. So, I would not be surprised if Ninja Boba had died off of that heart bomb or whatever was incoming. So that was incredibly close for him. Very nice job from Wolf of Elo Street. A little bit lucky, but he does get out, and that's the most important thing. As long as he gets out, he's safe.
He is.
Oh, we're coming up to the 19-minute mark, and let's talk about builds while we have a bit of a time that they're not fighting.
Yep, it seems like 3 blinks on the side of Epiphany Bolt, one being a combat blink and the other being the regular improved.
I mean, it seems a bit odd, but then when you actually think of the characters, individually it makes a lot of sense. So sort of Kabrakan, although he has that increase in speed to try and catch up with his first ability, it doesn't do that much. It doesn't like get you there that fast. You actually have to have some form of very quick initiation to sort of add on top of that. It's such a similar as Geb's rollout. It's not that fast, and it's quite obvious to stop. We do see Ninja Barat trying to go onto Dark here. It does actually get it, but forces the beads away, torn onto Red Pot, but nothing's really going to come out of that. As Ez finishes off Carino in the midline.
In the middle lane.
And that's a dead Bobat as well. Game Hunter is pushing. Game Hunter's pushing on that right side.
He's split pushing, which is... I guess he decided that he didn't want to rotate and get objective instead. Alex is able to get out there with the leadership, likely to get out of this fight as well, and this is a free tier 1.
And more importantly, it's a free tier 1 for Epiphany Bolt, but it does actually force them to go back, because Game Hunter was at their Phoenix. If they didn't go back and they went for that tier 2 tower, they could have actually very easily taken it out. And now, beautiful taunt from Wolf of Elo Street, although the blink coming in is going to be able to, Axios is going to be able to finish him off. But it looks like Game Hunter should be able to get a couple more kills as Dark goes down. Purple Pot is being chased by a big baby, and I think he's going to get slowed a fair amount here.
Is he going to be able to pick him up? Moex and Game Hunter 2v2. Bracken does rotate, going directly for that Moex. Game Hunter is able to pick up Purple Pot, and it's just the Doge Cubis.
Cubis is finally going to fall after taking quite a bit of damage from Game Hunter, but Game Hunter is not going to be able to defend himself against Axios and Redbot as well, as he just respawned and came over. This is just some very hectic fights going on right now.
This is really weird. I have no idea what I'm watching or what I'm even trying to cast.
Well, it seems to be that they've split up a lot more. They're just going for these very peculiar picks rather than looking for proper sort of team fight actual engagements. As, I mean, it's been working this very odd way of Epiphany Bolt has 3 characters who've been getting a lot of kills. So the Kabrakan, the Anubis, and the Cupid. So they don't really care if the Emir or the Najar dies. If they can set up kills, that's all that really counts, as long as they can get a couple of picks. Meanwhile, on the side of Torpedo, they want to try and get these sort of big team fights, but because Epiphany Bolt's not letting them, they're just going, screw it, Game Hunter, right side, go, now, we'll see you in a bit, you can just come TP to us when we need you.
Okay, interesting call. Epiphany Bolt going for that Gold Fury while they get the chance. Well, Kraken and Fat Loki and Yumi are just doing their best to zone out Torpedo, and they do succeed in doing so.
Yep, however, the fight's going to start finally. Wolf of Elo Street did get a very nice taunt. Purple Pot is actually going to miss his own ultimate. Axios still has his Game Hunter challenge hits. I'm looking at a boat right now, but Red Pot finally finishes off Ninja Bobat. Carino finishes off Ez, and now the rest of the fight's going on. Carino finally gets finished off by the Emir, and now Red Pot's very low himself.
This is a 3v4 in favor of Epiphany Bolt. A 3v2 in favor of Epiphany Bolt. Both the hunters go down, both the mid laners go down, and Torpedo does end up dropping their jungler, but it seems like Torpedo are not willing to give this up yet.
Yeah, they think Game Hunter has enough damage here that they can actually fight this out. Looking for Dark after the stun comes out. He's taking so much damage, but Game Hunter quite can't finish him off just yet, and now Purple Pot's here. He's trying to do as much damage as he can, but he may actually fall before Game Hunter does. Game Hunter has no health though. Wolf of Ela Street's got to try and do it. He actually turns around and gets the kill onto Emmett, and then gets a very beautiful taunt away. He's on no health though. Axios is going to be able to finish him up.
But I think it's worth. I think trading your support for their jungler and making sure your solo laner mana. I don't know if he's the hyper carry. I don't think he is. He's just like a regular carry, I guess, for now.
I don't think he was going to be the hyper carry.
Yeah, like.
But after that start, why wouldn't you make him your hyper carry, considering he's 13 and 3?
And 11, like 11.
Yeah. I mean,
actually take a look at the player damage. Like, yeah, he's at the top of the chart.
Yeah, he's been part of 24 kills, and they have 29. Now, as you can see, Red Pot just DC'd, so I'm actually going to have a look and ask admins, see what's going on there. But I imagine it's probably not going to be reported. It shouldn't be too long, however, I hope. But, I mean, in general, this has just been a very hectic game. We've had Game Hunter at the top of his game. However, the rest of the team seem to be sort of struggling to play with him, at least, or certainly they're not able to really play around what Epiphany Bot are doing.
I don't know, it's just... It has been a one weird type of game. I feel like Torpedo was ahead for a lot more than they were, but they kind of ended up throwing it by overstaying and letting Epiphany get picks. But so far, I mean, the game is pretty much even. Everything can still happen. This is why this is the greatest game of all time.
Yeah, this is
Not
definitely going to be...
exactly, but it is. Trust me, it is, okay?
It's going to be a very peculiar game to see exactly how it's going to come out. Hu Yi... Well, we have a Hu Yi on the side of Torpedo, and he's actually won every single game so far today. So, in that statistic, he should win. But the question is, how is Torpedo going to get back this giant lead they had? If you have a look at the graphs, they actually are down in XP, but they're up in gold. But this is such a minimal lead that it basically does not matter. And this has been the story between these two teams. One of them may look ahead, but actually they are incredibly even together as these two different teams. And hopefully Red Pot will get back into the game soonish, so we can actually watch the rest of this game, as they've been so interesting to watch, even though sometimes they can be a very little bit hectic.
Yeah, they really have been. I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I just want them to get back into this game so we can watch it. Like, I genuinely want to know how this game ends.
Yeah.
I genuinely, like, please, Cupid.
Like,
pray to the gods of Cloud9 so Cupid didn't actually get DDoS.
No, we don't need to pray to the gods of Cloud9, we need to pray to the gods of consumables.
Alright, consumables.
So, I mean, let's actually talk about some of the other roles in this that we haven't talked about too much. Sort of, Ez and Carino. Ez has been doing this very interesting job on this Anubis. He's sitting at 777, and it feels like he hasn't been contributing much to the side of Epiphany Bolt, but actually he's been doing a fair amount. Red Pot's finally joined back in, so we could see this game start very soon. But, like, he's been focused quite heavily in terms of Game Hunter stomping on his face a lot, because that's what you do against a Anubis. You burst him down pretty quickly before he can burst you, and you usually do that by having some very tanky warriors who can't be CC'd that much. So Tyr, Vimana, the gods like that who do this very difficult thing of making sure that his stun is effectively wasted, unless you use it on someone else. So you have to use it on someone else. But with the amount of damage that Game Hunter's been doing to him, he has to focus Game Hunter. So it's a very interesting position that Ez has been in. So he's mostly focusing on the other gods, so sort of Carino, Bobat, and Moix, and he's been actually destroying Bobat every single time because Bobat doesn't have any magical defenses apart from his base. of which, when you have Anubis with his protection steals and the Spear of the Magus that he has, along with the penetration boots, very few of the side of Torpedo will actually have a lot of defense against its god.
Yeah. Anubis does do a lot of damage.
Yeah. That is probably the best way to put it. Anubis does a lot of damage.
Or maybe like we can dumb it down more. Dog. Not there are two dogs in the game, but like there's the Egyptian dog and there's the Norse god. So the Egyptian dog. Boom boom, dead. Does that work?
I think I understood that, yeah. Dog, boom, boom, dead. Okay, right, now if we've done that down enough for everyone, we can then get back into this game. As we talked about, Red Pot is now back in this game. They're ready, and do they really want to go far, Jane? No, they're just baiting. They know that there's the ward there. You can see that there is a ward there on the enemy team. They know for a fact that there is no way that Torpedo doesn't know this is happening. You can see Game Hunter actually TPing into that sentry, but it's not going to be there in time. They wanted to try and bait people in, but then they realized that they were going to bait the wrong people into that engagement.
Hmm? They do not want the Game Hunter. Game Hunter is like the guy that you don't want to invite to the party, but he shows up anyway, and then he's like, "Oh no, please get away from me! Like I don't want to hang with you."
Yeah.
You know?
However, Wolf of Either Strait's got to be quite careful. They're actually going to channel his own ultimate to try and get out of this. But then Ninja Bobat's going to go back in onto Purple Pot. He wants to try and go in on this. Game Hunter's sort of sitting to the side. Carreño going to get spotted out by Axios, but nothing's going to happen there, unfortunately. He does get pinged out to say that he's there, but he's just going to join the rest of his team. Athena's actually going to have to recall here. She's sitting on about half health, and she only has the Breastplate of Valor over the top of the sort of standard thing. She doesn't even have Sovereignty. That's an interesting thing to note yet.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know. It's just.
Oh, the Taunt actually going to get rid of the Cupid Dash. Wolf of Either Street taking quite a bit of stuns. He's going to go down, and now Ninja Bobat going to drag Purple Pot into the tower, but nothing's going to come of it as Game Hunter's chasing them away in the mid lane.
Game Hunter does have Vitality, so he has no problem sticking to people. Main problem here, Anubis does a lot of damage, and he was just able to blow up like Wolf of Either Street really fast. But yeah, I mean, what is Torpedo going to do when they lost their frontline support?
Yeah,
and, well...
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the problems that you have with having a Vimana on your team. You need that extra frontliner, of which, as we see Purple Pot actually getting caught out underneath tower, going to go down to Game Hunter there, and now Axios realizing that this isn't going to be the best place. He just backs off after trying to go into that. Ninja Bobat going to follow up Red Pot actually. This could be pretty bad for the rest of Evolt, as they're going to get the Wolf of Either Street ultimate onto him to finish off Red Pot. Now Ez and Axios are running down the mid lane. Wolf of Either Street going to get a nice blink onto Ez. Ez is going to be forced to use the beads away, and now Axios is going to use the stun onto Wolf of Either Street. The slow came out from Game Hunter, but I don't think it hit anyone.
I don't think so either. Now, it seems like the roles have turned over. Epiphany Bolt was pushing down the tier 2 of Torpedo, and now Torpedo is doing the same, but their tier 2.
I mean, Axios is taking a lot of damage here from Carreño. He's just ripped through his health pretty much, and that's going to be the tier 2 tower down in favor of Torpedo.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I don't even know anymore. What is this game?
You just sit back and watch this game. That's all we need. Like, we'll just stop talking and we'll just watch this. That's all we need to do, right?
Yeah, we're done casting now. Enjoy watching the game. We're just gonna try to make sense of what this game is, I guess. Get like our scientists and stuff working on figuring out.
But maybe if we start by having a look at the exact trigonometry to do with Mox's ricochets, we can start with that. And then we'll move on to whatever the hell's going on in this solo lane matchup between Game Hunter and Axios.
I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. At least like Game Hunter didn't die for this blue buff they picked up, which is a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely is. So I mean, we actually saw Torpedo take out the Gold Fury in just after that Tier 2 tower as well. And along with the fact that they've taken out both the Tier 2 and the Tier 1 on the solo side as well, with Game Hunter's insane amount of split pushing, it's actually given them the gold lead. However, Epiphany Bolt is still trying to get these fights started because they know Game Hunter's not there. He's over in the duo lane. They don't know where this ward is. They finally spotted it, and now Game Hunter's got to be careful. He can't stay too long because they are selling up the Fire Giant now. And with the fact that they have Anubis who can very easily burst down big objectives like this, we do see Moex forced to use the beads away. Emir actually going to block them off with the wall. And now Game Hunter's rotating over. Corinne's here as well. Epiphany Bot has destroyed the Fire Giant though, and they're going to look for the engage.
They are Moex in a bad spot. Gets placed, like locked in place by Kabrakan, so the Mirror ult connects. Corinne also in a bad spot. He does get picked up by Kabrakan. Game Hunter now into big baby form, trying to do anything, but is he going to be able to? I don't think so. Intermobile got picked up as well, and he is most likely going down here.
Yeah, Game Hunter as well is going to be able to get the dash away after knocking out Purple Pop, but he's probably not going to live too much longer after this. Wolf of Elo streak is going to be able to get the dash away as well. However, this middle tier 2 tower is going to fall, and more importantly, the rest of Epiphany Bolt are still alive. And Game Hunter is just trying to keep, they're just trying to keep Red Pot busy as long as possible.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Red Pot chasing Game Hunter is also a good thing because Game Hunter can't defend his Phoenix now.
Sorry, I'm just getting some music up here.
Alright, okay. Mid Phoenix seems to have been taken by Epiphany Bolt. Game Hunter is now backing up to try to see if he can defend. Red Pod on that Cupid was not able to pick him up, sadly. I mean, the big baby was a bit too fast with that boots and Fatal, and also his dashes. I mean, they travel a longer distance compared to the Cupid's small dashes.
And more unfortunately, I wasn't able to get Flight of the Bumblebees up far enough for it to actually work as affected as, of course, Red Pot's wearing that beautiful Bumblebee Cupid today.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Maybe another time. Maybe we'll get to
another time. I'll actually go back and watch this game again and then record that bit.
Alright, okay, and then post it on YouTube and then share everything on Twitter.
Yep.
Alright, boys. So,
alright, anyway. Back into this game, so Fire Giant was taken by Epiphany Bolt. Every single character still has it. Game Hunter was really the only character on Torpedo to live after that, and it looks like Epiphany Bolt wants to go down this left side tower and take out this left side tier 2 tower.
They are. They went to right side first, but Torpedo has, they respawned and were able to stop them from getting the tier 2. Corinne is waiting here, hiding, and well, trying to pretty much catch them off guard by appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah, however, the problem with trying to appear out of nowhere is they know that you're going to be trying to defend this, so appearing out of nowhere is really going to work.
I mean, you can always try.
Yeah, you can try.
You can try. You can always appear out of nowhere, and the other team will be, "Oh my God, where did he come from?" And then you get the element of surprise, you know.
Yeah. But, I mean, looks like Ewalt are now ready to group up. They want to go in on this left side Phoenix after taking out the middle Phoenix again. And Torpedo's actually defending over there. They do spot them out, though. 3 of them. They're actually going to wall them off quite nicely. Wolf of Illustrate blinking towards them. Nice taunt from him as well is going to keep them away a little bit longer, but not enough to really matter too much. We're going to see. Looks like Ninja Bobot wants to go in and is actually going to be immediately taken down by the rest of Ayers' damage. Game Hunter's in the backline. He wants to finish off everything, but it's all going on in the Phoenix. Red Pot's still alive. Game Hunter isn't able to finish him off yet after tons of stuns, and now he may even go down before he can finish off Red Pot. No, he finally gets it down, but Axios takes him out. However, the rest of the team of Epiphany Bot were able to take out another 2 characters of the side of Torpedo. Corinne probably about to go down as well. Is going to get the bottom planes away, but Moex is only the person trying to damage to Axios, and it's not going to be enough. Corinne is going to go down to him, and now this could be the Epiphany Bolt actually trying to take out the Titan. This is the last game they need to win this. They need to get this Titan down. It's already on 25% health. It is going to go down. Epiphany Bolt win.
It's GG. Congrats. It just sucks that, you know, Game Hunter went 15, 4, and 12, but he couldn't carry his team.
Yeah,